teams can negotiate starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. ESPN's Brian Windhorst says Kyrie Irving doesn't have as many options as he thinks he does.
What Kyrie is trying to do is to create leverage because the Mavericks don't have to offer. And my guess is it's not about dollars per year. It's about number of years.
Brian Windhorst on Fitz and Harry. Our Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Nets are trading forward Joe Harris and 2 future second-round picks to the Pistons. Brooklyn opens up a $20 million roster spot for a traded player. The Blackhawks signed Corey Perry to a 1-year, $4 million deal 1 day after trading with the Lightning to get his rights. He played the last 2 seasons in Tampa. Dodgers owner Mark Walter, team president Stan Kasten, and minority owner Billie Jean King will launch and run a new women's professional hockey league starting in January.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. That's money. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The heart of Beer City, USA. 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other one scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It's a Friday.
all year long, I think, between all those teams. I think the winner of the division, you're looking at 11 wins, maybe 10. But those teams in that division are going to be fighting it out all year. They're going to be knocking one another off. That's going to be tough Sundays for each one of those teams, especially when they start going back and forth interdivision.
I agree, especially because it seems like we're throwing dirt on New England, and maybe you're in the same boat that I am. They've been the big bad wolf in the under the bed for so long that I think just throwing dirt on them is a poor idea.
That's still a 500 team.
They have such a tough opening
the schedule's evil, and I don't think the offense is any good, but they've got Bill, who, may have made the same deal with the devil that Joe Namath did when we won that Super Bowl in '69. So they're going to be irritating.
They're going to win football games. They're going to win football games.
And they're going to win games that they shouldn't.
And the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets, I don't see them just easily sweeping those games against New England. And, even when the Jets lacked proficient quarterback play, New England still had the ability to knock these guys off. So I see a lot of splits between. I don't see, one team could possibly win both games, but I see the Patriots knocking some people off here and there.
So the big story out of Buffalo in the last few weeks was, is Stephon Diggs all hunky-dunky?
Has he ever been?
No. And look, I'll be honest with you. Stephon Diggs was one of the first players that I really crushed a draft evaluation of, because I saw him at Maryland, who was a terrible team back then. And that was in the heyday of Florida State, and he annihilated us twice. And I could not for the life of me figure out, how are NFL teams not seeing how good this guy is? Well, then I got down the rabbit hole and I realized, there's this thing called a personality, and his leaves a little bit to be desired at times. Not saying he's a stereotypical receiver. I don't think he's a bad guy. He just needs the daily affirmations.
Yeah, and I think that's it. But I think when you talk about it's not the Minnesota Vikings when we play for the Vikings. There's a lot of strong leadership on the Buffalo Bills. And this is an experienced team. This is a team who wins a lot of games. And I don't think he's capable of creating the sort of disruption maybe he did in Minnesota. That doesn't mean he can't be a distraction. But I think there's too much veteran leadership on that team for him to disrupt it to any great degree. And just like anything else, Diggs wants to win. Let's give him that. He wants to win.
He's getting older. We all know that the receiver wall's at about 30. That's where you tend to start falling off a cliff. That's the reason DeAndre Hopkins isn't getting the offers he wants.
And if the team is winning, everything I think with Diggs will work out fine. This is, you got to remember, I come from the era of the bickering Bills when Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith couldn't get along, and then they went to 4 Super Bowls. So, and really that was in part because there was strong leadership throughout the team, and they were able to manage those situations. I see kind of a similar pattern here with the Micah Hydes, the Jordan Poyers, and obviously Josh Allen. I don't think one player is capable of derailing that team from their mission on every Sunday.
Dave, I got a question for you. So obviously the running backs has been the talk about Buffalo. And obviously you got James Cook, you got Damian Harris that picked up Latavius Murray, and you have Naimi Hines, who you guys traded for on the last trade deadline. As a Bills fan, which running back do you hope to see more of in 2023?
I got a feeling, if he stays healthy, Damian Harris comes out as the number 1 lead back.
Really?
I really do, with Cook coming in as that change of pace. I know they want Josh to stop running, right? Everybody knows that. And I got the opportunity to watch Harris play a couple times a year. And he is the type of back that I think that they've actually been looking for. And it would not surprise me at all if Harris comes out as the lead back on that team. But Cook proved last year that he could be very, very effective. So I think you see a solid mix of the two. But when you start getting down on the goal line, you get in those short yardage situations, I see less of Josh Allen and more of Damian Harris.
I can't disagree with you on that. Are you in or out on Dalvin Cook?
I don't see how they could make that work financially.
I don't either, but it seems like Dalvin Cook is dead set on he's going to a team in the AFC East, and I'm not sure he really cares which one it is.
Yeah, I would think maybe the Dolphins might be the fit there.
That one doesn't make it. I swear that
doesn't
makes
make sense to me either. But
I mean, he's from there. Outside of that, makes no sense.
Buffalo's cap situation is extremely difficult, and I think if there was still room, we'd be looking at Hopkins already on the Bills roster. So I clearly there's not enough cap to bring that piece in, and I think that piece would prove to be more valuable. So I don't see Dalvin Cook at all.
Yeah, that's where it falls apart.
And he'll be signed
me.
tomorrow. Now that I said that.
Oh, so. Yeah, I'm saying you just put it into the universe, and
which is okay. We'll take it.
That's the thing I can't figure out about the Jets is that supposedly we're so in on Dalvin Cook. Do you know how much Aaron Rodgers makes this year?
A few shekels. I don't know.
What, 30, 40?
$1.5 million.
Wait.
His salary as of right now for the upcoming season is $1.5 million. Do you know what his salary is next year? $101 million. So, yeah, we had to move the numbers around to get him to New York.
Oh,
and it was one of those,
gosh.
It's always like refinancing a car. We'll get around to that. And it's not until you get that first bill where you go, oh, yeah, we need to do that right now. This is no longer we can't wait any longer. We got to do it now. But this will be got to take a break after this question, but we haven't seen Dave since the draft. Unfortunately, we were not able to link up with him for the draft. How did you feel after the Dalton Schultz or Dalton Kincaid? One of these days, I'm going to be able to differentiate those two. They play exactly the same way. Dalton Kincaid, Osiris Torrance, Dorian Williams.
I thought they had a strong draft. I'll be honest, I did not know a lot about Kincaid coming out because I really wasn't focusing on them going tight end. But then you watch the highlights from that USC game.
Oh,
he
took over.
And you're just like, man, this guy can play ball.
Well, I mean, now in fairness, and I'm not trying to rain on your parade of Kincaid against USC. USC, they had $1 bajillion to make a team, and they spent $8 on the defense, and the rest of it went to the offense. But you are right. He did dominate that game. The one that it always should tell you something when somebody that pulls for a team in your division walks away going, man, I hate that you did that. Because you got my favorite interior lineman in the draft, in Osiris Torrance, who I think will start immediately.
A lot of people thought it was a first-round talent.
I had you take him in the mock that I put into the mock draft contest. I had you taking him in the first round.
Yeah.
When he got back to you the second time, I went, but how did we let that happen? I get it's a pretty deep class, but how did we get this far? And then Dorian Williams was probably my favorite linebacker in the class. That's your replacement for Tremaine Edmonds.
I think there's a little more concern there at linebacker. I think that's still Buffalo's weakest link.
The only thing I can tell you is with Dorian Williams and Matt Milano, you're not going to get picked apart in the passing game.
No.
Now, you might have teams that feel the urge to bully you running it because those are both really high-level pass coverage guys. I don't know how you mitigate that because Ed Oliver kind of fits into that same mold.
Correct, yeah.
I think this is one of the scariest defensive lines in the league. So,
yeah, Buffalo every year just goes, hey, we have 7 pass rushers. Not enough. Leonard Floyd, go get him.
Well, the thing is, getting back to Kincaid, this is really going to be, this season is about Ken Dorsey and his ability to incorporate all the weapons. Now, if Kincaid is used the way Buffalo used Cole Beasley, where they just used him continually to move the change. The difference is Kincaid's much bigger, much larger, has the same hands.
And may actually be faster.
Faster, bigger, and the yards after catch are huge. So this is on Ken Dorsey. And if that offense sputters at all with the weapons they've been given and the improvements they've made on the O-line, Ken Dorsey either will not be the offensive coordinator or, any thoughts of him making it as a head coach in this league will be seriously compromised.
They kind of fall by the wayside. 15 seconds. Your opinion of Sean McDermott right now is?
He's still the man, I think. He's still the man. The departure of Leslie Frazier.
That's what scares me.
No, that actually, and if you talk to people around Buffalo and the people who watch the team day in and day out, was the thought that Frazier was too conservative on defense. And that, the stats lines looked great and, the yardage and the points against and all that looked great, but in the big games, they seem passive and ill-prepared on D. So, yeah, a lot is on McDermott. There's no question. I think his job is still safe. Obviously, the extension, although that really doesn't mean too much, but I think there's a lot of faith in the Buffalo organization for those two. And I think one of the most ridiculous takes I've heard this offseason is like somehow the Bills have missed their window.
I know you're still in the window.
Yeah,
it's just the AFC is evil.
Well, again, I mean, you got a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, or how old is Aaron Rodgers?
39.
He's 40.
Captain Ayahuasca.
His window's wide open now that he joined the Jets, but somehow Josh Allen's window is closing. I think that's just an absurd take. And
that's Jet fan media. Our window has been a prison cell.
And Patriot fan.
Yeah, we've had bars on our windows for the last 13 years. So the fact that now we can actually open it and get a little breeze, maybe we overreact to that. We're in with Asheville Police Chief David Zack, got the intern Jake, got myself, the ESPN Draft Nerd. When we come back, David's told me that I have to have my first peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've never had one in my life. So later in this hour, we're going to do that. We're also going to rehab a game that we played earlier in the week with Jake and myself. Tell me what this is. And we're going to add in Asheville Police Chief David Zack, who's a little older than me, and I can't wait to see the two of you. I'm kind of the middleman, but Jake saying things and asking Dave what they mean and vice versa should be a lot of fun. Stick with us. We got a lot of show ahead, live from the Ingles Studios here on ESPN Radio Asheville, 92.9, 880, and 1400.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Cut. Let's try something fresh like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Oh, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is The Fighty Pups. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to the Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
He'll forget about the video game you gave him on his birthday.
Wow! Thanks, Grandpa!
But he'll never forget how you invested in his future with the UNest app.
Wow. Thanks, Grandpa.
Don't just give them any gift. Give them a gift that can grow with them. Invite grandparents and family friends to contribute to your child's future with the UNest app. UNest is an investment account for kids that makes it easy to gift funds that can be used for college tuition, their first home, and more, just by sharing a link. Or include a UNest QR code on party invitations for birthdays and holidays. For a limited time, download the UNest app and use the code IHEART50 at sign-up to receive a $50 bonus when you fund your account. That's code IHEART50 when you sign up at unest.co for a $50 bonus. See terms and conditions at unest.co.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Back here in the Sportsocracy, joined by Asheville Police Chief David Zack. Our first Beat the Chief. We don't have anything to pick because we're not quite to the season yet. We're getting closer. The season it'll be here before we know it, but we wanted to catch up with Asheville Police Chief David Zack. He has told me I have to eat my first peanut butter and jelly sandwich of my entire life, which we'll do later in this hour. But Jake and I played a game earlier in the week that a lot of people seem to really enjoy, and it was called Tell Me What This Is. Basically what we did is he would say things of his generation, I would say things of my generation, and we would each try to figure out what they were. I feel like I did a pretty good job.
I think so too.
With yours.
No, I think so
too. I knew what
too.
hit the quan meant.
That was impressive.
Now, there was some weird show that you said that I watched 6 minutes of. What was it, regular show?
Regular show.
Yeah. There's nothing regular about that.
Not at all.
I watched that for 4 minutes, and I swear to you, I thought there was blood coming out of my ears.
Chaos show.
Yeah, I don't like it. So what we thought we would do is we had a couple each left over from when we played the game the other day. So we thought with Asheville Police Chief David Zack in here with us that there are probably some things from his generation that not only will I not know, but Jake has no prayer of knowing, and this could be a whole mess of fun. So I'm going to start. I feel very sure that Dave, you know what I'm getting ready to say.
All right.
Because it was a huge fad in the 90s. Jake, what is a Tamagotchi?
Tamagotchi?
I love the look that just came upon your face.
Oh.
It is not a television. I will go ahead and tell you.
Tamagotchi. Is that a piece of clothing?
No, it is not a piece of clothing.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Is it a watch?
Not quite, but some people did wear them on the wrist. I think there was one of these that had a wristband. Dave, do you remember what the Tamagotchi was?
I do not, but I was going to say like some sort of wristband or something like that.
So what a Tamagotchi was, it was a virtual pet. All right, so it was a little keychain.
Oh, okay.
It was a little keychain, and it had the beginning ones were all dogs. Then we branched into cats and birds and different animals. Well, you had to feed it, and you had to clean up after it.
Yeah.
Or it would die.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did it not restart? Or it would actually...
No, you could restart
okay.
it. But you had to keep your little dog alive, and it would grow up as days went by. And so your little puppy would become a bigger dog, and it looked like a calculator screen. So it was the lamest attempt at a dog you've ever seen. But it would poo, and there would be a little poos that appeared in the corner of the screen, and you had to clean up after it, or it got like dysentery and died. Now, you see how stupid what I just said was?
Did you have one of these?
I did. Yeah.
Did you really?
I was also 8. Okay, so
but you never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But
correct.
This you had.
Yes, I did.
Interesting.
I also had a Beanie Baby. Not many of them, but I had a few.
Okay.
Hey, don't judge me. All right, just because I'm a gruffman now, I was still a kid at one time. I mean, I know.
Did you have a happy childhood?
Tank swears I didn't. I mean, he makes it sound like I was raised at Gitmo, but I wasn't.
Again, I go back to the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a culinary treat enjoyed by virtually every young child.
Well, here's the thing. So we've teased this all week, and I've had multiple people ask me, how did you never get offered a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? It's not that it wasn't offered. It's that I was morally repulsed by it. Because it's two things that don't go together.
No, they exactly do go together.
That's why people say they go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Well, I mean, if I said it went together like ham and gym socks, then eventually that saying would catch on. It doesn't mean that it's true.
But you didn't feel unloved.
No,
parents,
good Lord, no. I had a glorious childhood.
Okay, it's pretty standard stuff.
Oh yeah,
summers in Rangoon, luge lessons, the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I had a phenomenal childhood. Okay. It's just when sandwich day would come along, and say we went on a field trip, and you could have the deli sandwich, which was usually ham. It was like a ham, a bologna, or a PB&J. Well, it's ham because bologna completely repulses me.
Really?
Bologna's cold hot dog.
Jeez, this is another show.
Yeah, well, come on now.
I'm going to make you a fried bologna sandwich, and you're going to.
I've always been told that a fried bologna would change my mind on that.
It'll change. When you come to Buffalo to tailgate, you will eat a fried bologna sandwich.
I like how he said that.
Prepared
you
by
will
me.
do it.
Prepared by me. Oh.
We're New Yorkers. We will force you to do this.
Well, let's just dive into one of mine then. Okay. So actually, this is for both of you all. What does this phrase mean? Teeing up. Teeing up.
I mean, that's what I do on a golf course before I come out of my shoes. Dave can tell you all about it. He's seen me do it.
What do you think, Dave?
You're kind of like setting someone up for something?
No.
Teeing them up?
No.
We're teeing Jeremy up for this peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Okay, so that could work. That could actually work. So the phrase teeing up is a phrase that we all use in Gen Z. I'm teeing up means I'm turning up, or like I'm just excited. So Colts drafted Anthony Richardson. I was teeing up watching the draft. I was turned.
Okay. So can I ask and this is, and Dave, feel free to chime in here because you're a few years older than me.
A couple.
Why does every generation younger than me feel the urge to take a word that means absolutely nothing of how you're using it and use it that way? Like, teeing up is a phrase that we have. It's something you do on a golf course. But for why do we need to take that phrase and make it mean? I remember my generation did this with disgusting. All right, disgusting when we were growing up meant something was awful. Well, then we all used it to mean good for an extended period of time. It never made any sense to me. And now I feel like Gen Z does it with everything.
They do. Well, yeah, they are. Twisting language is a favorite pastime.
By the time I turn 50 years old, I'm not sure that I will actually speak the language that the rest of the world does.
And common words we will be forbidden to say.
Yes. Trust me, I have to think about certain things on a daily basis.
Yes,
Patrick Holt in the YouTube comment said fat, P-H-A-T. That was something we did. You're welcome.
All right, Dave, you got a phrase or a term or something for us?
Okay, this is an object from the 70s.
Okay.
What were clackers?
I don't think I'm allowed to say it on the show.
You are?
I mean, I know how I've used that phrase.
Is clackers the
what were clackers?
Is that like toy that's kind of like a yo-yo?
You're close.
Yeah.
Is it that weird thing that had like two balls on it and you had to spin it?
It was, yes. It was the rope with the two balls.
Yes.
Let's do this.
And they were like glass or like ceramic, and you would just bang them together, like obnoxiously so. And then, of course, the toy, like most toys in the 70s, was eventually outlawed because it was maiming children when the clackers would
it like
shatter.
Bust their face and stuff?
Yeah, they would shatter and break and became very dangerous. Again, like most toys of the 70s.
I'm glad you said that way because it just made me think of something.
Went the way of the lawn chart.
It's actually what I was getting ready to ask because I know what that is. I know you know what that is. I cannot wait to hear what Jake thinks this was. Define the lawn dart.
Okay, so can you spell that for me? We're going to go spelling bee.
the LAWN, i.e. the thing that I tell kids to get off my lawn. Dart.
Lawn
like
darts.
the thing you throw at a board in a bar.
Lawn dart.
Lawn dart. Those two things were a thing, and it was right beside each other.
Okay, well, I might just, take both of the words and put them together. Maybe is it a dartboard on your lawn?
Nope. It was a dart.
It was
that
a dart?
you threw at things.
More of a spear.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was actually a spear is a really good way to explain the lawn dart. The lawn dart was a long, we'll just generously call it a stick, that was really sharp.
Steel tipped.
Yep.
What were you throwing this at?
The air.
No, it was a replacement for like horseshoes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you'd have like a ring that you'd put on the grass, and then you were supposed to throw the dart or the jart.
Oh, was it a jart?
It was a jart.
I know what a jort is. That's very popular in Jacksonville.
And then the jart would stick into the ground.
Okay.
Once again, outlawed because they would occasionally, like, if you weren't paying attention, end up in your chest.
Or
I wish Clarissa was here because she nearly lost an eye from a lawn jart back in the day.
Really?
So when she comes
I did
in,
not know that.
have her tell the story how she nearly lost her eye not paying attention when someone was throwing a lawn jart.
So
outlawed in the 70s.
They were outlawed in the 70s?
Yeah, they were another thing. They just got rid of them.
I remember these from when I was a child, but we also know that Jeremy's childhood, I did a lot of things that I probably wasn't supposed to. Because when I was a child, I actually never knew that there was a game. I didn't know that there was a circle you were supposed to throw into.
Yeah.
Here's how me and my stupid friends, who are dying at an alarmingly high rate, and when I tell you this part of the story, it's not going to surprise you that much. We would just throw it up in the air, and at some point, it would gain momentum back down, and it would stick to the ground. The problem is that if you lost track of it, you might die.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that we did one time, a whole bunch of times.
Oh, everybody did that. Or you get in a fight with your brother and you throw the
chuck it at him, which is now is like felony assault.
Yeah, I could never imagine getting one of these thrown at me as a kid. Are you serious?
It's not menacing when you look at a picture of one.
Okay.
It looks like a toy, but it's a very dangerous.
It's not a toy that should be trifled with.
Okay.
Yes.
But if you ever want to just look around at your generation and go, why is the generation ahead of us they're just tougher. Like things don't bother them as much because we do the same thing with Dave's generation, and it's because they championed the lawn dart, and then we were the generation that went, no, we're not that soft, but we're not chuck a javelin in the air and try to dodge it.
It's called what my generation refers to as testosterone.
Yes, we did a lot of things that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Something that didn't make any sense to catch Dave up on how we played this game earlier in the week. Jake did not know what America Online was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He didn't know what the dial-up sound was. He had no clue.
Most obnoxious sound.
Oh, it's awful.
It was pretty bad.
He didn't know what AIM stood for, and he didn't know what ASL stood for.
Interesting.
I was like, well, now we have a whole generation of texters, and they have basically dropped our shorthand, which is unfortunate.
And we won't forgive them.
You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio, Asheville 92.9, 880 and 1400. Brought to you, as always, by Ingalls Markets and ClarissaSellsWNC.com. When we come back, it's getting the time is drawing nigh. The peanut butter and jelly is it's going to have to happen. And I have a feeling I know how this is going to end. This is almost like the Indiana Jones movie. I've seen the trailer. Got a pretty good idea how this is going to end. And it's not going to be great. Bring it to you next, right here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville. More thunderstorms possible into early July coming in from the north, riding around the top side of that big heat high that we've been talking about. We're going to feel some 90s in the forecast for the weekend. 65 degrees our low tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Widely scattered storms possible Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming in from the north. Some could have gusty downpours, clouding around lightning. High temps near 90, lows near 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Hurry into Mattress Firm's July 4th sale today to have a sleep expert find the right bed for you. Save up to 60% on top brands until Tuesday, with queens starting at $169.99. Plus, for a limited time, save $500 on the new Tempur-Breeze mattress and get a $300 instant gift.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news, plus the upcoming NFL season's just around the corner. And iHeartRadio is your official podcast partner of the NFL. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
When you can find everything you need at prices you can afford, that's totally Target. It's that feeling when quality Good and Gather ingredients on the barbecue bring family around the table. Or when favorite day after practice snacks let you celebrate the whole team for less. It's when saving more on Up and Up sunscreen means more fun in the sun. And when Target Circle Rewards program gives you more perks on what you buy most and is always free to join, that's totally Target.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does UNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Back in the Sportsocracy, here live from the Ingles Studios, brought to you as always by Ingles Markets and Clarissa Sells, WNC.com. It's the Go Home show before our 4th of July 4-day weekend. Probably going to have Mr. Spencer with Jake on Wednesday. Y'all can discuss some, what is that thing you're going to see this weekend?
Oh, the CONCACAF Gold Cup.
I don't understand. I know literally every word you just said, and I do not understand them in that order. That's some soccer thing, right?
Yeah, so it's the North American International Soccer Tournament. It's going to be a great time. We get to watch USA versus Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday with my girlfriend. It's going to be just spectacular.
All right, just based off what you said, I have a question for Asheville Police Chief David Zack, who is joining us here in the studio, sharing a little bit of his time here in the offseason, kicking off the Beat the Chief segment, which we do all NFL season long as we pick every game against the spread. We've done this for 3 years.
We have.
And we've all now won once.
We have.
So this is the rubber match year.
So we're done after year 4? Is that what you're saying?
No. You're not allowed to go anywhere. My relationship with cops has changed drastically since you became the chief of Asheville's police department. I mean, I had a relationship with them before. It was not nearly as cordial as it is now.
More in the front seat than the back seat.
Correct. Yes. I actually said this when I hosted the APD Awards. Is, if you had told me I would be up in front of a room full of cops, my immediate response would be, what'd I do? How many minutes of soccer have you watched in your entire life?
Don't care.
There it is. That's about.
Actually, you know what? I was very.
Back. I know what he's going to talk about. I know he's going to talk about.
No. What do you think I'm going to talk about?
Indoor soccer in Buffalo.
Oh yeah. That was big. I used to go to those games. The Buffalo Stallions. Indoor
but that's
soccer. No, it's not real soccer.
I was about to say that's like saying I don't watch football, but I love the Arena League.
You know what I used to that when women's soccer and USA versus China, I was pretty into that. That was like the deepest I ever got into soccer. I enjoyed watching the women play. More so than the men. I can't stand the falling down and the
crying every
crying.
I was young when the Brandy Chastain year, of which Dave and I know why that's what we remember from that.
Sure. But that was exciting. That was exciting. That was
World
really
Cup.
exciting.
You can 100% get me for the World Cup.
Yeah.
If we're competitive. Now, if the United States is just going to trot out against Brazil and get beat 7-0, you ain't getting me for that.
I'll watch curling before I watch soccer.
Well, I mean, that's a little biased because I totally agree with you. Because the U.S. men's curling team is 4 dudes that look like me. There are 2 of the most prodigious, luxurious mullets you will ever see in your life.
I challenge you to, on some late evening past midnight, and you're flipping through the dial, which, by the way, there used to be a dial.
Yeah, you used to have to get up to change television.
Actually, I was the remote back in the day. And if curling's on and you don't click it on and not end up watching it for like 2 hours, it grabs you.
I can attest that I have done that. I've done it after no less than 7 domestic lights. And there's something about the sweeping and the mullets, and it's just, it can captivate my attention.
Right?
But it's because it's simple.
No one knows the rules if you've never. I mean, which makes it even more interesting.
It's a big circle. Get your little whatever that thing is called and land it in the circle. You want to know why people like me can't get behind soccer?
Why?
Because, all right, so this weekend you're going to the
CONCACAF Gold Cup.
Oh, the gold bracelet. Okay, I gotcha. What does that actually mean? All right, so in the grand scheme of things, what does that mean?
It's just a big international tournament of all the North American, Caribbean, and Central American.
So what you're telling me is for like the World Cup, it means absolutely nothing.
No, so the CONCACAF Gold Cup is pretty much getting you prepared for the World Cup.
Okay, that's not what I asked. The preseason is pretty much getting you ready for the Super Bowl. That doesn't mean that I'm locked into the Hall of Fame game.
Okay.
So you're telling me that this is a big tournament.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything for the thing that we care about.
I mean, if you care about winning trophies.
I don't. I won a lot of them as a child. And you know what I became? A fat man. A fat man that talks about sports on the radio. This is why soccer will never catch on in this country. Because you make it way too complicated. And I firmly believe the NBA is doing the exact same thing right now. The in-season tournament, you're making your sport too difficult. You know what we like? Football. One winner. You play it out on the field. It's not a series. It's, I play you one time. The winner advances. And then we just keep doing that. Because at the end of the day, we're very simple people. So it's not that soccer's not entertaining. I can sit down and watch it. Now,
the level of skill. I mean, no question, fantastic. Like the unbelievable talent of the athletes. I just as, an American, if we want to call that. I mean, we watch football, the contact. We watch the NHL. Guys getting hit with pucks at 100 miles an hour. We see a guy step into the batter's box and get brushed off with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to the head, and then get up and run to first base.
Bingo.
And then when you watch soccer, like the theatrics and the rolling around in agony on the field, the getting carried off on a stretcher only to get up once you get to the sidelines.
Oh yeah, like
is just something.
Thanks for the lift, guys.
Is just something that I just don't think that resonates with the American sporting public. They don't like to see that. They don't like when you're hurt, and in American sports you get hurt, you're back on the field. They gotta pull you off the field to get you off the field. Where in soccer, it's just. In the international play, when they do that, it's just a huge turnoff.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a bold prediction. I bet you in 10 years that soccer is the second most popular sport in the United States.
I heard that 10 years ago too. It's not even close.
Yeah, I
to
heard
true.
that too.
Well, guess what?
Literally, that's been a narrative. Let's see. I'm 36 years old. I went to a high school. I went to T.C. Robertson High School here in Asheville.
Okay.
We were the prodigious power in boys and girls soccer the entire time I was there.
Okay.
Virtually every person I went to high school with said soccer's going to be the second most popular sport in 10 years. 10 years came and went, not even close. Not even the ballpark.
And I'm, as you know, I'm 2 or 3 years older than you.
Correct.
I've been hearing that. I'm 60 years old. I've been hearing that since I was in high school, that soccer was going to overtake all these other sports, and it just never has.
Well, listen real quick. I'm going to say a name, okay? Lionel Messi.
38 years old.
Guess what? He's playing in the MLS. Mm-hmm. They've already sold out every single game.
In the stadium. They've never had a problem selling tickets. Dave, you can attest to
Lionel
this.
Messi.
Selling tickets in a stadium means less than squat about sports. Seriously. I have friends all over the NFL. The COVID year, yeah, it was brutal that we couldn't sell tickets and we didn't have the experience. You know what we had? TV. We had TV. We had 30 million people watching our games, even though there was nobody in the stadium. Didn't matter. Because that's where we're at.
The indoor lacrosse season just ended. My Buffalo Bandits, of course, league championship. Sold out arena.
Do you have garb of all these different Buffalo teams?
Yes.
Because if you
I don't. No, I don't. I do not. But anyway, indoor lacrosse sold out the arena, 18,000 seats. You guys didn't even know they had an indoor lacrosse league.
No.
So attendance doesn't mean.
Literally, the indoor lacrosse league could have a team in Asheville, one in Canton, one in Hendersonville, one in Brevard. I would still have absolutely no idea that we had that. Because I don't understand the rules. I don't understand the rules of lacrosse. Hockey, for me, it can survive because I know there is a chance that somebody is going to get absolutely annihilated if I watch this for 4 minutes. There is a good shot that somebody's going to have a puck in the corner and somebody's going to come along and absolutely annihilate.
And hockey is now worldwide.
Yes. In spite of the fact that I don't understand what a blue line is, I don't understand why you can't have a fast break in hockey. I've never been able to figure that out. Why can one guy not just cherry pick all the way down the ice and go, I'm open. You are 5-on-4 down there. This is not really an advantage unless you turn it over.
It's called a breakaway. I'll educate you on hockey.
Well, the breakaway is if you're out there by yourself, but you got to have the puck. You can't run out in front of the puck. That's another thing that gets me in soccer.
It's called a stretch pass.
Yeah,
you just haven't watched enough hockey.
It doesn't make sense.
Offsides in soccer?
Yes, it doesn't make any sense. Make it easier to score. If you make it easier to score, people will.
Well, in soccer too, you can force someone offsides by moving your defenders forward.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Hey, well, real quick. So you started watching Ted Lasso, correct?
Love Ted Lasso.
Okay.
I've been specifically told I need to watch this.
So since you've started watching Ted Lasso, tell me you haven't gained a little respect for soccer.
Again, for the athleticism and the level of skill, I've always appreciated the quality and the skill of the athlete. Mm-hmm. But to watch it and to get emotionally connected to the players, for me, is just something that's been very, very difficult.
Oh, the respect was never lacking. I mean, the best athletes we had, and I'm going back to high school here, were all soccer players. I mean, I was a good athlete. I was doughy. There was no doughy soccer player. I knew they were all in better shape than me. But I don't understand your sport. I can't get anything that I have to look at you and go, can you explain to me why that just happened? I'm going to lose interest in it in no time flat.
In my high school, the best athletes were the wrestlers.
Yeah, we weren't good at that. Of all the things,
I just also happened to be a wrestler, so that's why I say that.
And then
I was a grappler.
I've gone down the rabbit hole. I mean, look, I was the sport that nobody gives any credence to. All right, the basketball players, you all think we're soft. You all hate us, and it's fine.
I don't hate you.
I hate Klay Thompson after last night because he cost me a boatload of money. I mean, an amount that I am uncomfortable that I wagered on a celebrity golf match. But I did. And then Steph Curry, who's supposed to be like Tony Romo light. Yeah.
They have a hotline.
He looked like Jeremy Green light.
They have a hotline for that.
What, wagering golf?
There's billboards. No, just
Dave,
excessive wagering.
Dave, I once wagered Russian table tennis. I don't think the match is going to be what gets me to a meeting in the basement of a church. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Radio, 92.9, 880, and 1400. After the break, I got a couple bangers. We'll see what I conspire today to avoid wagering Major League Baseball. And after that, my first PB&J of all time. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
You might not know this, but the Ingalls Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Careless debris burning is the leading cause of wildfires in North Carolina. Before you burn, take a look at the weather and avoid burning on dry, windy days. Never leave your fire unattended. You are the best defense against wildfires. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov.
When you can find everything you need at prices you can afford, that's totally Target. It's that feeling when quality Good and Gather ingredients on the barbecue bring family around the table. Or when favorite day after practice snacks let you celebrate the whole team for less. It's when saving more on Up and Up sunscreen means more fun in the sun. And when Target Circle Rewards program gives you more perks on what you buy most and is always free to join, that's totally Target.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there!
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Coffee's the closer's home.
Get him the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
So, just a hypothetical question. Which one is Klay Thompson worse at? Golf or actually defending anybody? I'm not sure that one drive hit the fairway last night, and yet Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce just dog-walked Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Got that one wrong. We'll try to do better today. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. How far will I go to not have to wager Major League Baseball? Let's see. Today's the start of NBA free agency, and I got a theory. You know I'm big on theories, and here's my latest one. I don't think Dame Lillard's actually leaving the Portland Trail Blazers. I believe he will be back there, and that leads me to believe that somebody's going to end up in Miami. Who is that person? James Harden. And right now you can get him at plus 350 to end up with the Heat. I think those are really good odds because Miami's going to get a third star. The question is, Who is it? They're the only team with assets. I've heard the Clippers. It doesn't make any sense because I don't think Philadelphia is going to get warm and fuzzy by taking back Norman Powell. That just doesn't really seem like odds that I'm in favor of. Also, Kyrie Irving, another big name on the free agency market. Dallas Mavericks are minus 500 to keep him, and you know I will very rarely tell you to take a favorite this high. This is one of those times because he's coming back to Dallas because nobody else wants to take on the headache. It's easy money. Yes, you have to spend some to make some, but Kyrie Irving minus 500 to the Dallas Mavericks, James Harden plus 325 to the Miami Heat, and I'll be honest with you, those might be the only big moves that you see in free agency. If you could get Fred VanVleet to Houston, I'd take it for whatever the odds are. Unfortunately, the odds makers have figured that out too, and they've taken it off the board. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More thunderstorms possible into early July coming in from the north, riding around the top side of that big heat high that we've been talking about. We're going to feel some 90s in the forecast for the weekend. 65 degrees our low tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Widely scattered storms possible Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming in from the north. Some could have gusty downpours, clouding around lightning. High temps near 90, lows near 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. During Staples Small Business Deal Days, you save 50% when you buy any combination of 5 or more boxes, mailers, and shipping tubes. Offer ends July 1st. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Concord, New Hampshire location. Prices may vary. Keep your business running right and save at Staples. Hurry into Mattress Firm's July 4th sale today to have a sleep expert find the right bed for you. Save up to 60% on top brands until Tuesday, with queens starting at $169.99. Plus, for a limited time, save $500 on the new Tempur-Breeze mattress and get a $300 instant gift.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. The NBA free agent market opens for business at 6 Eastern Time. Negotiations are allowed for 30 hours until midnight Eastern Time tomorrow. Meanwhile, the 76ers are hoping to trade James Harden. But ESPN's Brian Windhorst says this situation reminds him of the Ben Simmons standoff.
I will tell you, the Sixers have multiple options here. They are not in a desperate situation. They are not in a desperate situation with what they've still got on their roster, and they are not in a desperate situation that they have to listen and do this trade right now.
Brian Windhorst on Fitz and Harry. Free agent deals can't officially be signed until Thursday, July 6th. The NHL free agency signing period opens up tomorrow at noon Eastern. The Nashville Predators are buying out center Matt Duchene. He had 3 years left on his contract and was the team's second leading scorer last season. Dodgers outfielder Mookie Betts joins the party for the Home Run Derby on July 10th. It'll be his first Derby. And American star Christian Pulisic could be moving from Chelsea to AC Milan.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
Ease the degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
Hour 2 on a go-home Friday before the 4th of July. Hope everyone's had a nice work week. Around here been a little chaotic because, well, we're all off for 5 days, which, well, that never happens. There never is a time where this place is just, hey, where's Eddie and Josh and Ariel? Oh, they're all enjoying a holiday, which is what we do for the 4th of July. I hope you all have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Big plans for the 4th of July, other than your CONCACAF Gold
CONCACAF Gold Cup. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to go to Carowinds tomorrow.
You know, I haven't been to Carowinds in like 15 years. The last time I went to Carowinds, it was Paramount Carowinds.
Wait, what? That was the thing?
Yeah, and everything was branded with a Paramount movie. They had Wayne's World on they had Top Gun. Oh, Carowinds was on point. And then when Paramount dropped it, it became, the Wayne's World ride became, well, it's Thunder Road now. It has little cartoons on it. Yeah, I'm good. I grew up with the Wayne's World, and it doesn't do it for me.
Well, Carowinds also has a roller coaster that's 325 feet tall. So, yeah, I could say they're doing pretty well right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it atrophied. It's still the same rides. It just doesn't look the same to me.
Oh, yeah.
We're joined in studio by Asheville Police Chief David Zack. And now we're joined by a voice that should sound very familiar to all the listeners of the show, Clarissa Hyatt Zack. Clarissa sells WNC.com. And Caleb, also, all 5 of us, this is the first time there's ever been 5 people in this room. As a horribly, what's that word? I don't like tight spaces. I've said this to Jake 50 times. Claustrophobic.
There you go.
It's the last day before a holiday. The 4-syllable words are not going to be much of a thing for me. We're all in studio because I have been informed that it is time for the 36-year run of no peanut butter and jelly sandwich to come to an end. And we are going to talk about sports things. NFC over-under win futures coming up later in this hour. We'll be drafting ultimate 4th of July party festivities between Jake and myself, beginning of the 3rd hour. And we will touch on NBA free agency, which is the sparkler of the sports world. Hey, Kyrie Irving's a free agent. Cool. Nobody wants him. James Harden, you got to have him for a bag of footballs. I am not giving you a bag of footballs for James Harden. Awesome. That kicks off at 6 o'clock this afternoon. But it is time. Asheville Police Chief David Zack has been constructing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich over there. So I have a few questions. I don't know what's on the other side of this table. I saw the bread. Dave went to Ingles to pick up all of these lovely things.
And why did I do that?
Because you love low prices and you love the savings.
I do love the savings.
You did love.
I love the savings
As
so
I checked
much.
out, $15.93. I loved those savings.
Bingo. I got to see the Mills River Ingles the other day, which is
my goodness.
That place needs its own zip code. They had more people working in that place. That's one of the most impressive operations I think I've ever seen.
That's a nice Ingles.
It is, and now I'm jealous because you have every bang flavor known to man, and that's when I go to Ingles. I hit 5 things. I need eggs. I need milk. I need meat of some kind, energy drinks, and adult beverages. And I think you have every one of those known to man too.
So just to clear up the mystery, you don't know what's on the other side of the...
Correct. I know there's bread, and it was the hearty white farmhouse bread, which
farmhouse butter bread,
which I'm already excited about because that is the Rolls Royce of bread.
That's why I got it for you, buddy.
That's love.
Well, let me clear up the mystery. You know what else is over here?
There's peanut butter and jelly. I just don't know what kind.
You are regular Sherlock Holmes.
Bingo. I just don't know what kind.
Well, in deference to your childlike
Peter Pan
way that you go through life.
Peter Pan,
Peter
ultimate
Pan. But I also got you crunchy and creamy.
So this was asked in the break, and it was going to be a mystery until we came on air. I don't know that I've ever had crunchy peanut butter before.
Well, today, my friend, we are going to just be breaking down barriers, aren't we?
And I love peanuts, and I love peanut butter.
And you love them both together.
All right, what is the jelly flavor?
Well, we're going today with Smucker's Strawberry Jam.
Oh,
what is the? Okay.
So do you think?
Mind. I can't ask the
so
question.
we've gone from jelly to jam. So do you think you'll have trouble with the curve?
No, because I don't actually know the difference between the two things.
Nor did I, and I really didn't have time to scour the shelves for jelly. So I just took the first thing I saw.
I mean, people get really touchy about that, so there is a difference. I just don't know what it is.
Well, maybe one of your listeners knows.
We do have a YouTube chat. Feel free to chime in the YouTube chat, subscribers. Let us know what the difference is.
Prepared to
before somebody weighs in on that, okay, I already know the joke, so just don't. I got it. All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. So. Patrick Holt said jam is thinner than jelly. I always thought it was I thought that was the opposite.
I would have thought the exact opposite.
Jam is
thick.
Jam is
chunks of fruit in it.
No, that's preserves.
Definitely.
Preserves has the chunks of fruit. There are no chunks.
I
in
love
this jam.
fruit. I love jam. I love jelly. That's what's always mystified people is that I love jelly. Yeah. I love bread.
Do you like peanut butter?
I love peanut butter. I'll eat peanut butter out of the jar.
So how is it? I can't wrap my head around it. You like all those things.
I do.
But you just thought that a peanut butter and jelly wouldn't be amusing to you.
Well, and allow me to answer for that for you, my friend. I love pizza.
Yes.
And I love putting oil in my car, but I don't want to put oil on my pizza. And that's how I've always felt about
who puts oil on their pizza.
Yeah,
what are you talking?
Yeah.
All right,
I got trouble with that one.
What is that?
All right, so you want to go down the food analogy? All right, let's see. I love pineapple.
Yes.
I love milkshakes. I don't want a pineapple milkshake. I'll eat pineapple right out of the
I think
jar.
Jake, I think that could work.
A pineapple milkshake. I'm sure they have a Cookout.
I try it.
Cookout has every flavor of milkshake known to man.
What about the Grimace shake?
You have been you have talked this Grimace shake up to such a point that it can't possibly live up to the hype in my head.
We got to try one next show. Oh my goodness!
Jake just told me that apparently McDonald's is having like a giant birthday month for Grimace, and they've come up with a berry milkshake. I love all things berry. I'm the weirdest fat guy on the planet because I love fruit, I love vegetables, and I don't like a lot of things that are just awful for you. But I like salad dressing a lot.
Now, if you said salad dressing and peanut butter, I would say that doesn't go together.
See, and to me, that's kind of where I'm at with peanut butter and jelly. That's how I view these two things. They're great individually. It doesn't mean they're going to be great together. So I feel like I have stalled here as long as humanly possible.
Have you been training for this moment, or?
Well, I mean, my entire life. This is we have been actively promoting me eating for the last hour and 10 minutes. Which
last weekend,
I think this is actually. I feel like I've made it now. This is the role I was destined to play.
I mean, last weekend I got to witness your training regimen. With hot dogs, hamburgers, and domestic lights, and I thought,
yes.
I thought that was an odd training regimen for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but
well, I mean, Dave grilled some hot dogs that, without a doubt, it's the best hot dog I've ever had in my life.
And the burgers too.
The burgers were insane.
Oh my goodness!
It was all insane.
You got the Buffalo Salem hot dog there.
Oh, that's a formidable
You also
hot dog.
You tried tuna for the first time at Dave's.
I had never had tuna either.
That's right.
I had never had tuna, and I feel like that one got slipped in on me after 12 domestic lights, and I went food. Don't care. Nom, nom, nom.
Oh, man.
So, it worked.
Are you ready?
I am. Patrick Holt said I need a cold glass of milk with this. I have
he's right. He's right.
I have a scalding cup of coffee. Will that work?
It won't hurt you. I don't think it'll hurt you.
It's not the worst thing to drink with the PB&J.
Well, I mean, I've got three choices here. I've got an energy drink, I've got a big jug of water, or I got a coffee. I mean, you're the peanut butter and jelly veterans here.
I'd probably go water then.
Water with peanut butter. I don't know that I can wrap my head around.
Oh, my God.
Just eat the sandwich.
Come on. Kelvin Joyner in our YouTube comment said, so did Jeremy grow up with enough money and not have some of this stuff, or was he that poor? I was under no stretch of the imagination.
Again, I have questions whether you had a happy childhood with you.
Well, I mean, Tank swears that I was raised in a gulag or something. I was only allowed out to see the sunshine once every 6 months. That's not the case. I was the weird kid. I like chicken nuggets and pizza. And
That's not weird.
I never got to the subsidiary things. I never got to tuna. The only time I've ever really looked at tuna, other than at Dave's house the other day, was at Subway, and that was because I was trying to figure out, okay, what of the things here is edible? That looks like cat food, and it might be the most appetizing thing on this whole little platter. So,
but did you enjoy my tuna macaroni salad?
I did.
It was good.
I did.
That's good.
And Patrick Holt has to throw this out there. Anytime we do something like this, I also couldn't ride a bicycle until I was 14 years old.
Your childhood just got a lot sadder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that dumbfounds people, too.
We're all depressed.
You know, it's funny. I hear that a lot. A lot of people say your childhood. I had the greatest childhood ever. I was an only child. My parents were very loving. Played a lot of sports. And then I started making bad decisions as an adult, but that has nothing to do with my parents. All right, it's time for the moment of truth with the sandwich.
Okay, again, half is creamy, and then I cut the other half, and that is crunchy.
All right.
And I cut it for you.
That's love.
That is.
Again,
that's the affection that I have for you.
I again say that David Zack is never allowed to leave Asheville because he single-handedly changed my relationship with the police. It was much more contentious before we got here.
All right, you want to pass it across?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I've never had peanut butter with jelly, but it is a thick substance, so you two are going to have to speak.
Why don't you show it to the camera real quick?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a formidable sandwich. I don't know which one is which. That one's got peanuts in it, so I'm assuming that's
okay. So here he's handling it.
You two will have to withhold the conversation for a minute because peanut butter is it's a thicker substance.
I am so excited to hear your answer here, Jeremy. Because you tried Cheerwine for the first time on the show.
The crowd is curious but well behaved.
Also, if you hear that jaw pop, that is
waiting for Jeremy's expression.
I muted my microphone so you wouldn't hear the jaw pop. I have TMJ, so when I chew, it sounds like I'm noshing on a bag of wood screws, so I didn't figure anybody needed that.
All right, what's your thoughts?
Okay, so that was the crunchy.
Yeah.
Which I did not expect. It's not what I expected it to be.
Really?
No, and I think Dave did this on purpose because I specifically told him that I like peanut butter better than I like jelly. So there's not as much of that, but it's like a peanut butter sandwich with a little sweet thing on the backside.
All right, give it back.
All right, hold on. Well, now I got to go the creamy. I'm not going to lie, the peanut chunks caught me.
Actually, peanut, that could be, it could be because of the peanut. That's overwhelming.
That caught me by surprise
But
because
don't
I
bite
thought I
the
had
bread
that.
and bite from the middle. Go in the middle.
Oh, it's supposed to go in the middle.
Yeah, the middle is.
You got to
that's the first one. You always got to go middle there.
Let's try it that way.
That was a good bite. So a lot of facial expressions here.
Okay, that one was way sweeter.
Good.
That was way more what I expected.
Yeah, that's what I love to hear.
It's not bad. I will say it's drastically better than I thought it would be. The bread is not soggy, which has always been my biggest aversion to this. Is that every peanut butter and jelly I've ever seen? Well, I mean, they sit together for long enough, and eventually it soaks through the bread, and then the bread's gushy.
When you're supposed to make it and then eat it.
Well, I mean,
not store it for hours.
Well, here's the thing, Dave. I was raised in a prison, so all right, they make the sandwiches and then they serve them to the inmates. That's how it. And of all people,
it was not a happy childhood. It was not a happy childhood.
It was a great childhood. Okay, my parents might be watching this, and they're sitting back going, "We're catching a lot of heat here for absolutely no reason."
So,
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's markedly better than I thought it would be.
Okay, now take a bite and then drink your coffee.
Okay. All right. You're, again, going to have to pick up the...
Yeah, that's okay.
Just so we're clear, I like the crust of bread, so I actually think that hitting the second sandwich with the crust probably be the best bite that I could possibly
have it your way.
Yeah. Well, Anna Wind in our YouTube comment section asks, anyone heard of a banana mayo sandwich?
Yes, I eat those all the time.
See, I talked about that when I first moved down here. That was a huge thing of culture shock. Was a banana and mayo sandwich just does not sound appetizing to me. Dave, have you had one?
No, I'm a sane person.
That was a good answer.
That was a great answer.
That was a good answer.
So now this is always what killed Tank. The only way I'll eat a banana is on a peanut butter and banana sandwich. I have done.
I love peanut butter and banana.
I detest bananas.
That's like my favorite dessert. Is I just put peanut butter on a banana.
So are you when you buy a banana? What is the? Do you want it to be a little too ripe with the little brown spots? Because for me, if it's not green, I'm not eating it.
Oh no, I don't like it green. I like when they're hard like that.
Yeah, I
just when they start to turn from green to yellow. That's.
I don't want it mushy.
Yeah, when it starts getting the brown on it, no.
Yeah, I don't do anything with a brown spot. That's raw or not raw. That's rotten. That's what that spot means. Okay, I mean is it something that I would ever pursue? No. But now we have officially gotten to a point, if somebody said, hey, I made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I wouldn't make jokes and go to McDonald's.
Okay, so let's...
It's largely what I thought it was. It's peanut butter with a little sweet on the backside, and I don't know if it's... I mean, look, my taste buds have been through just a war zone of a life, so it's not like I'm not really savoring the food. But it's confusing to me because I'm expecting the rich of a peanut butter, and then you throw that sweet on the backside, and it just messes with me.
Yeah, I could see where the confusion would result.
So let's just give it a rating then.
That sounded like sarcasm.
Give it a rating 1 through 10, Jeremy.
That's more what I'm used to from police. Just throwing that out there. All right, that is closer to the relationship that I had for my first 30 years.
As you sip from your APD Yeti.
We back the blue here, and that's something that we make no apologies for. A rating, all right, on a scale 10?
Yeah.
I'll say 6, 7.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's not bad.
That's 6, 7.
That's all right.
Yeah, I would give I had a Boar's Head Ingalls sub for lunch. For me, that's an 8.4. That's a formidable sandwich. I mean, nothing's a 9. A 9 sandwich doesn't exist.
Double quarter pounder.
Oh no! When you
that just makes me feel awful. I eat it.
We're going to come back and we're going to remember this conversation, because when I take you to the Bar Bill in East Aurora and you have that beef on weck, you're gonna know what a 9 and potentially a 10 actually is.
So, Dave, do you remember when the young man over here said the
CONCACAF
shell,
Gold Cup? Yeah,
the conch shell golden bracelet thing. I'm gonna say the same thing to what you just said with the whatever those words you just said. I understood every one of those words, but I do not understand them in that order.
You will, my friend. You will.
Looking forward to it. Asheville Police Chief David Zack joining us here in the Sportsocracy. We appreciate you, my friend.
Great to be here as always.
First time we've had the peanut butter and jelly. I think it was a success. And Dave, I feel like this is the official kickoff to the Beat the Chief segment.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the season.
I feel like we can just do this every week.
And I'm glad I got the opportunity to share this experience with you. It means a lot to me.
It was a bonding experience.
It was absolutely.
I mean, now if you're actively driving a car, don't do this. But if you're stopped at a stoplight, maybe just put your hands on your own shoulders, give yourself a hug, and feel like you're part of something, man. It's what this show's.
I'm glad
about.
we were all here. I'm glad I was here with all of you.
It was a great time, Dave. I appreciate you.
I feel like Asheville's never been more united than it is right now, and it's all because of a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio Asheville, 92.9, 880, and 1400. Brought to you by Ingalls Markets and Clarissa Sells, WNC.com. When we come back, Jake and I will be tackling the NFC. There is an over-under future in the NFC that I'm not telling you to take out a second mortgage on your house, because you shouldn't do that. That's financially irresponsible. But a shekel or two should be put on it. I'll tell you who that is after this commercial break.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving stop and go 26 westbound between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound crawling approaching Brevard Road to I-40. 26 eastbound slow between the French Broad River and Airport Road. 40 westbound is slow between Porter's Cove Road and 240 Charlotte Highway. 40 westbound again slowing between Hendersonville Road and the Smoky Park Highway due to an accident. 40 eastbound crawling between the Smoky Park Highway and the 26-240 split. 240 westbound slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In the Avery Creek area, Boulevard Road, north and southbound, between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum, stop and go both directions. Smoky Park Highway southbound, stop and go between the Inca area and Sand Hill Road. Inca Village, Sardis Road slow from Sand Hill Road to Brevard Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Manar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's hottest summer sale is going on now. 15% off all cleaning services. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 15% off your next service. Use promo code SUMMERSALE when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
You might not know this, but the Ingalls Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things. Really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
You're back in the Sportsocracy, and I'm sure somebody somewhere is going, are we going to talk about sports today? Of course we are. We had some other business to attend to, and that's what we did. Peanut butter and jelly, first one I've ever had in my life. It was a thing.
Did you like it?
More than I thought I would, to be 100% honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like, yeah, would I ever seek that out? And I don't know that I would. I really don't. I don't know that I would ever seek that out. But if it's handed to me, if we're at a 4th of July barbecue or something like that,
yeah,
do worse.
I got you. Well, yes, we didn't talk about sports, but now we're going to talk about sports.
And now you got a whole show full of football.
And let's talk about some football. Let's talk about the NFC over-under win total. Now,
we did this yesterday with the AFC.
Yes.
As we're getting closer, we got 3 weeks until training camps open with the New York Jets, the Cleveland Browns, a couple other teams. We're going through the league. You know, we've already gone through the schedule. We've looked at where we think things are. But things are kind of settling down. The futures markets are laying out the number, and you're getting more comfortable with what you're going to get. So Jake has the win totals from Vegas. You're coming from what? FanDuel Sportsbook?
FanDuel
Sportsbook. This is the active, wagerable, projected futures line for every team in the NFC.
All right, let's start it off with the NFC North, a team that I'm pretty high on this year. I really like them. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears at 7.5 wins.
Over, and I don't think about it for 5 seconds.
I don't think it's even close, right?
It will be close. People get blinded sometimes by. Look, I still don't. But I'm not changing my tune on anything I've said about Justin Fields. I don't think he's a good thrower of the football, but he is a different kind of weapon. He is difficult to game plan against, and if you look down that schedule, there's a whole mess of wins on it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you start off not too bad. I mean, you have to play against Green Bay.
You catch the Packers in Chicago.
You got to go to play Tampa Bay, which is just mark that down as a W.
Well, it's not really daunting because they can't score.
Yeah.
Because they have Baker Mayfield playing quarterback.
Obviously playing Kansas City, but then you got to play Denver, Washington, Minnesota, the Raiders.
This team could start 6-1.
They could.
I'm not saying that I think they will. They could start. You could convince me this team starts 6-1, and I don't even think it's that big a stretch.
I really love their offseason. Obviously, we did our offseason files the other day, and I think they addressed the problems. Now, obviously, who's going to rush the passer?
Well, the problem was that they just don't have enough talent.
Yeah.
And that's going to get them. I mean, look, I'm looking up and down the depth chart right now. There's nobody on this team that I feel great about getting after the quarterback. I think you have deficiencies on the line, but you've added a few guys over the last 2 years in the draft that I think if 2 of them hit, you're going to be markedly better there. You really upgraded the linebacking core this year. I mean, look, the defense was a sieve last year. You can't be much worse than they were.
Well, I mean, when I'm looking at the schedule, I really don't see this team winning less than 9 games. I'm sorry.
I would say the floor is 8, which is why this is not my favorite bet in the NFC, but it's in the top 3.
I got you. I
mean, look, Chicago is a vastly improved team. They've got legitimate weapons. I think the offensive line at this point is legit. There's a lot to like. Now, don't go crazy on it, but if you told me I could see the Chicago Bears finishing 9-8 and finishing second in this division.
So let's talk about
and contending for a wild card spot.
Let's talk about a team that everyone's projecting to win this division. The Detroit Lions at 9.5 wins. I feel like that might be a little too high.
I don't know that it's high. This is one that I would avoid like grim death because I don't think there's a lot of value in it.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Detroit's a good team. Jared Goff's a good quarterback. He led a team to a Super Bowl. People seem to forget that. I mean, and I understand how good the roster was. I get it. Yeah, what did you call him earlier?
He's a football Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling obviously is going to be in the Barbie movie if you guys want to check that out on July 27th.
I would rather watch the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on repeat. So if he's a football Ryan Gosling, does that mean I'm a football Luke Combs?
I'd say,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just consistency. I think 9.5 is the right number.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're not going to hit it. As I look up and down the schedule, I'm not as in love with the Lions. I'm in like with the Lions. And maybe it's a reservation because they are the Lions. I also look at that receiving core and go, man, losing Jameson Winston for 6 weeks is tough.
It is. But they got Marvin Jones back.
Woo!
He's not the worst.
That and $1 will get you a Coke.
He's not the worst. But again, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And I love Amon-Ra. Probably no player in NFL history that I've ever been more right on than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like the offense a lot. I think the defense is coming right along. My biggest fear with Detroit is it's not the It's not the team. It's not the talent. It's not the coaching staff. I believe in all those things. At the end of the day, you're the Lions. All right? And it takes a lot to change a culture of losing, which this team has. I feel the same way about the Jets. It's the reason that I hemmed and hawed along yesterday. Yeah, I think it's 9 or 10 wins, and I'm in the same boat with Detroit. I think they could fall on either side of this. They probably win this division. I'm not wild about Minnesota. I'm not wild about Green Bay, but I'm also not throwing dirt on them. So I don't think this is just the layup that it is made to be. But I would say they're the favorite in the division. If I had to go one way or the other, I will say over 9.5.
Okay. So now we're going to move to Green Bay. Let's talk about the Packers at 7.5.
I'm at a point with Green Bay where they're starting to remind me of New England. The legendary quarterback has moved on, and now you just want to throw dirt on their grave because they've been good for so long. This is still a legit talented roster, and this schedule is awful. They play one of the softest schedules in the NFL.
Oh, I know.
So I'm going to say over 7.5.
I love it. I love it.
I do. I think this is one of the probably top 5 in the NFC for me. Because this is a public narrative that has gone absolutely dumb. Do I believe in Jordan Love? No, I don't. I have actively ridiculed this for an extended period of time. But at the end of the day, he's still an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
This is not like you're chucking Jamarcus Russell out there. And this is still a talented roster. You've got the youngest receiver core in the league, and it's super deep. You're going to be able to run the ball. If the offensive line stays healthy, the defense is even coherent. Because there were times last year that they were awful. Even a coherent defense. And this is one of the easiest bets in the NFL. I'm going over 7.5.
I don't think it's that juicy. I mean, I really think that Green Bay could be a 10-win team this season. Everyone's counting them out. But I'd say, 7.5 over. I love it. So last up, we got the team that seems like you're always throwing dirt on.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for this one.
The Minnesota Vikings at 8.5.
Under.
Is it an under? Or is it just a under?
Under.
There it is. Really?
For those of you that are new to the show, Tank and I used to have a fantasy football show where I would back away from the microphone and yell things that I was really committed to, and I am very committed to under on the Minnesota Vikings. This offense is not good. I feel like they're tearing this roster down in front of you, and 8.5 doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's play a fun game.
Yeah.
Name me the position group where the Minnesota Vikings are better than the Green Bay Packers.
I'd probably have to go with wide receiving core.
I don't agree with you.
I mean, are you serious?
It's Justin Jefferson and a bunch of dudes.
Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, Jordan Addison.
KJ Osborne, I thought we were talking about good receivers.
KJ Osborne's better than Romeo Doubs.
I'm going to act like you didn't say that.
No, literally, though.
Yeah, that's
literally.
It's not even close.
So you're talking about Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and Jaden Reed are better than Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the league.
I'm talking about the entire depth of the receiving core. I go to 8, you go to 2. Yeah, you have the 1A or 1B of receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there is nothing I can hang my hat on. Oh, and by the way, you have Kirk Cousins, who's aging. It ain't going to get better. Now I know where this is going. I know where practically every play Minnesota runs is going. But TJ Hawkinson, oh, you mean that big lumbering tight end that doesn't really separate from linebackers? Not that worried about it.
Okay.
There's a reason the Detroit Lions were willing to trade him inside the division. When I first started doing this, one of the first pieces of advice that I ever got from anybody in media was, you want to see a player that a team is telling you everything they need to know? When they don't stop them from getting to a division rival, means they're not worried about them. Well, I'm just going to take that advice and elaborate on it. When you actively send them there and you know where all the bodies are buried on this guy, that's not going to sway me. Defense, it's Green Bay. It's not even close. I don't care if I'm calling this defense. It's better than Minnesota's. I think Minnesota's a sieve that's going to have to get into shootouts, and you're counting on a lot of Alexander Madison, a lot of KJ Osborne. Look, I like Jordan Addison as a rookie prospect. I don't like him as the second best target in offense that's going to have to play on the outside because I don't know how good of a route runner you are. You came out of an offense that does not run NFL-level route tree, and now you have to come in here and be the guy that takes some of the coverage off Justin Jefferson? Yeah, I'm good.
Well, as much as I want to disagree with you, I am going to agree with you. I think Minnesota is an 8-win team at best next year. So I'm going to go with the under 8.5, and that wraps up the NFC North.
Patrick Holt said wide receivers and QBs. I would agree on quarterback. Kelvin Joyner also said quarterback. That's about the only position I can agree. And I'm catching a full game. Oh, and by the way, Minnesota's schedule is exponentially tougher.
Oh, it is.
Exponentially tougher. All right, there's your futures for the AFC North. When we come back, we'll get weird, and then we'll talk about the closest to here, the NFC South. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio, 92.9, 880 and 1400, brought to you by Ingles Markets and Clarissa Sells, WNC.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More thunderstorms possible into early July coming in from the north, riding around the top side of that big heat high that we've been talking about. We're going to feel some 90s in the forecast for the weekend. 65 degrees our low tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Widely scattered storms possible Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming in from the north. Some could have gusty downpours, cloudy ground lightning, high temps near 90, lows near 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Boyne Bridge, stop and go. 26 westbound crawling between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound again crawling approaching Bavard Road to I-40. 26 eastbound slow between the French Broad River and Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between Porter's Cove Road and 240. 40 westbound again slow between Hendersonville Road and the Smoky Park Highway. 40 on the eastbound side is crawling between the Smoky Park Highway and the 26-240 split. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound near Sand Hill Road is slow. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Bavard Road north and southbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway delays. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road slow. Hendersonville Road southbound between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights.
September 22nd and 23rd.
1 stage.
At T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live. Only on Hulu.
This is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival now.
Before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
That's AXS.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Time to get weird for those of you on the YouTube channel. Tank rejoining us after Asheville Police Chief David Zack. We thank him for joining us, and Clarissa Hyatt, Zack, and Caleb, and all of them for the first peanut butter and jelly of my life. So we got Tank back on the screen. He thinned out a little bit. You know, he's still in the suitcase. Still got a beach ball. My story comes from the state of California. I am always amused by things that become viral on social media.
Okay.
Because people oftentimes don't ask questions. They just see something and it becomes what it is. Have you ever heard of Donner Lake?
Donner Lake?
Donner Lake.
No.
Well, it's in California.
Okay.
It's named after the Donner Party, which was a group of Midwestern pioneers who spent the winter of 1846 and 1847 in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Don't remember. I can't remember if it was a plane crash. I don't remember why they were up there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a plane crash because it was in 1846. Last day before vacation. I'm just a big dumb bear, folks. Where the reason that became so famous is because several of them passed, and the remaining had to, do what survivors are doing when you're in the woods and you're hungry. Well, there's a sign now that's trending on Twitter because it's a sign for Donner Lake. And when you're driving down the interstate and you see those restaurants ahead signs,
yeah,
and they've got the little fork and knife?
Yeah.
Well, there's one of those underneath the sign for Donner Lake.
Okay.
Well, they ended up eating a couple of the people that were present in their party, and this has started to trend on Twitter because people don't understand. There's 38 restaurants on that exit. Is it ironic? Yes, I see the irony that some bad things happened with the Donner Party. The lake's named after the Donner Party.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. But maybe just fact check things before you put them on Twitter that there is a monument to they had to eat each other. That's not what it is. There's restaurants. By the way, how bad would you hate to be a restaurant owner off that exit? I think we need to move our restaurant.
Yeah, holy moly. Well, my story is a little absurd. What's your thoughts on designer clothing and designer bags and all that stuff?
Well, probably a third of my wardrobe comes from Volcom, which is a company that's been defunct for about 8 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say I'm not necessarily the designer clothing kind of guy.
I got you. I'm not the biggest fan. I do have a Louis Vuitton wallet, but I got it for $20 in the Bahamas, so I just like the look of it. Now, speaking of Louis Vuitton, a tiny knockoff Louis Vuitton handbag sold for how much, do you think?
Okay, so I'm going to need a little more information.
Yes.
When you say tiny, what are you saying?
When I say tiny, I'm talking about a grain of salt tiny. This handbag measures in at 657 by 222 by 700 micrometers. It is the same size as
so you can't see it.
I'm looking at a picture of it right now, and it is probably the same size as your little fingerprints.
So what? Yeah. So what good does that do anyone?
It's the same thing I have about NFTs.
Yeah, NFTs are dumb. That makes no sense. I'm going to tell you the same thing I said about cryptocurrency, of which, weird, 3 years later? All right. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And so how much would you think something as small as your fingerprint would sell for?
Oh, let's see, what is that worth? It says Louis Vuitton. It's the size of a grain of rice. I'll say it sold for $258 million.
No. No, it's a little bit overboard, but it did sell for $63,750.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Would you buy a grain of salt for $63,000?
I wouldn't buy a car for $63,000.
Me neither. It's by this famous company called Mischief, and Mischief has all these things. Like they have the Mario boots that they sell. They sell
Mario boots?
Yeah, you know how Mario has those boots?
Like Super Mario?
Yes. You know those red boots that he wears?
Okay, I'd rock those.
Well, they're selling them for like, I don't know, $2,000 or something.
Yeah, I'm not paying $2,000. I'll give you $8.
They also sell WD-40 cologne.
That's just dumb.
I know. And they are also, I think, the brand that did.
Why do young people play Mad Libs with things that they sell?
I couldn't tell you.
WD-40 cologne. But that's not a pleasant smell. You smell like Sex Panther. It's awful. They are going to hose you down in the parking lot. That is an unappealing
It doesn't make any sense to me. Does not make any sense to me. But, hey, shout out to the person that bought a grain of sand-sized Louis Vuitton handbag for $63,000. Good job.
But then again, I do have to say you're the same young man that comes in here with a pistachio muffin 2 or 3 times a week.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either. But it's green.
It is green.
And I don't know what to do with that.
It's delicious.
I know it is. You've given me a bite of it, and I don't want to like it, but I do.
I think, yeah, obviously when you put some dye in some food, it maybe takes away the appeal. But pistachio, delicious, and obviously it's from Ingles.
Great. Low prices.
Yeah.
Love the savings.
Love the savings. So,
I didn't want to like that muffin, but I do. It's very moist.
It is moist. But that's good, though. At least it's not dry.
Bingo. That's all you expect out of a muffin. Coming up next, we'll give you the over-under futures projections for the teams in the NFC South, including the Carolina Panthers. Coming up next here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. Future 26 eastbound, slow between Broadway Street and 240. 26 westbound, stop and go approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound, slows again between the French Broad River and I-40. 40 westbound near Porter's Cove Road, slow. 40 westbound, slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound is crawling between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. 40 on the eastbound side crawling approaching the Smoky Park Highway to the 26-240 split. Smoky Park Highway southbound stop and go between the Inca area continuing to Luther Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound at Edgewood Road slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Hurry into Mattress Firm's July 4th sale today to have a sleep expert find the right bed for you. Save up to 60% on top brands until Tuesday, with Queen starting at $169.99. Plus, for a limited time, save $500 on the new Tempur-Breeze mattress and get a $300 instant gift.
Celebrate freedom on your free iHeartRadio app. The freedom to stream your favorite station from anywhere. The freedom to hear the artists you love on demand. And the freedom to binge the biggest podcasts of the summer. Take what you love everywhere you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio.
We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. a premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
You might not know this, but the Ingalls Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things. Really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We are dumber than a bag of hammers. We are the Sportsocracy, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And Clarissa Sells, WNC.com. And we're talking about future win totals in the NFL. And we're to the hometown Carolina Panthers and the NFC South.
So you want to go Panthers first?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
We're a Panthers affiliate.
Panthers, 7.5 here.
I feel like Panther fans are going to say that's insane. It's not. I always get nervous when something seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the schedule. All right, let's say Carolina splits straight down the middle in the division just to keep from being spicy.
Mm.
If you told me that, then 7.5 makes sense. Because they have, coming off a bye week, you have 2 home games against Houston and Indianapolis. That's 2 wins. That's 2 wins.
Well, honestly, the one against Indianapolis, I've never seen the Colts win when I watched them in person.
And you're going to that game?
Yes, so that is...
Jake Wilson, kiss of death.
Mark it down. Panthers will win Week 9 against the Colts.
I'm going to say over on Carolina.
Okay.
It could be a slow start. For me, if you go into the bye at 3-3, you should be the happiest team in the NFL. Because you play 3 or 4 with New Orleans, Seattle, Detroit, and Miami, and 3 of those 4 are on the road. Carolina is one of those teams that could start off really slow. Because I'm looking at that going, I think that's 2-4 probably. Then you go into the bye, catch 2 wins, maybe you catch a little momentum, beat Chicago, and you've got games left, few in the division, 2 with Tampa Bay, who you beat last year, so you certainly beat them now with Baker Mayfield. So it may not start as pretty as you want it to, but I will say over 7.5.
I'm going to have to go under here. I think they finished at 7-10, but that's just because I've seen Frank Reich coach my team for the past 4 years, and I always watch him struggle at the beginning of the season. He really does.
Yeah, who was his best quarterback in Indianapolis?
And Andrew Luck. One of the best quarterbacks of all time.
He didn't have Luck.
Yes, he did. In 2018, he had Luck.
Was he there with Luck?
Yes.
Okay, so he was there a year. Ooh.
What
did he get hurt that year too?
No, they went to the playoffs. They lost.
Okay.
They lost against the Chiefs in the division.
Man, he was in Indy longer than I thought he was.
Yeah, but anyways, I like Frank Reich. I do like the Panthers. I just feel like they need another year of growth for them to take that leap into the playoffs. So I'm gonna go under. But that leads us to a team that's right down the road.
The Atlanta Falcons.
8.5.
Oh, see, to me, it's that's stupid. Atlanta and Carolina have almost mirror image schedules. I feel like Atlanta's defense is probably a little better, but I would say Carolina's offense is better. Solely because I know you have somebody that can actually complete a pass. And I'm still going to say over on Atlanta. I think Atlanta goes about 9-8. I'm not sure that every team in this division doesn't go 9-8 outside of Tampa Bay.
Yeah. No, I like Atlanta as well. I do have them going 9-8. And another thing about Atlanta is I have them winning the division. I feel like it's going to be a huge year for them. I like what they did in the offseason.
Jonathan Welch has been saying that for 2 years, and it's much less spicy now than it's been over the course of the last 2 years.
So you're going to go over with Atlanta?
I'll go over, but barely.
All righty. So that leads us to the team that's actually projected the most wins, the New Orleans Saints at 9.5.
I wouldn't touch it for 2 words, Dennis Allen. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. But the talent on this roster tells me that this should be a 10-win team. So if for whatever reason I had to wager every single one of these, I would take the over on New Orleans.
Really? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I really think New Orleans has a pretty bad year. I think they go 6-11.
I can't see a path through that bad.
I just do not.
First of all, the schedule's a cakewalk. There is nothing about that schedule that scares me in the least.
They got the Lions, they got the Jags. I think they lose
two historic losers with really high expectations.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to go under there, but over for Jeremy. That leads us to the last team who
There's
Mr.
no
Tank
number.
Spencer.
There's no number that's low enough that I won't say under.
6.5.
Under.
I got under as well.
I firmly believe Tampa Bay will be one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL, and they're going to break Tank's heart because they'll be just good enough to not pick in the top 3, which means they're either going to have to mortgage the future or take the scraps at quarterback. My thought is that Arizona probably just leverages them to the umpteenth extreme to get Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Drake May to wind up in Tampa Bay because, frankly, I don't think I can deal with Tank Spencer for the offseason of that. Listening to how this is the second wave of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in them things. All right, that's the NFC South. 3 overs for me, 1 under with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Later in the program, we will do the other 2 divisions of the NFC, the East and the West. But coming up after the break, Jake and I, it's 4th of July weekend. We're going to draft the ultimate 4th of July party. Coming up next, right here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More thunderstorms possible into early July coming in from the north, riding around the top side of that big heat high that we've been talking about. We're going to feel some 90s in the forecast for the weekend. 65 degrees our low tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Widely scattered storms possible Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming in from the north. Some could have gusty downpours, cloudy around lightning. High temps near 90, lows near 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. Future 26 eastbound, slow between Broadway Street and 240. 26 westbound, stop and go approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound, slows again between the French Broad River and I-40. 40 westbound near Porter's Cove Road, slow. 40 westbound, slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound is crawling between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. 40 on the eastbound side crawling approaching the Smoky Park Highway to the 26-240 split. Smoky Park Highway southbound stop and go between the Inca area continuing to Luther Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound at Edgewood Road slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs? Ew, a bug, get it! Isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
If your business is feeling a summer hiring wave, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Sixers could make a run at Damian Lillard.
If this is a two-step situation where the Sixers were to trade James Harden, potentially for a draft pick or 2, some expiring contracts or a young player, and then they could add Tyrese Maxey to it and then make that offer to Portland, that potentially is compelling.
Brian Windhorst on Fitz and Harry, and our Ramona Shelburne reports the Sixers will not extend Tyrese Maxey's contract this summer. He has 1 year to go on his rookie deal. Guardians manager Terry Francona is back in the dugout for today's game against the Cubs. Francona missed 3 games this week. He was hospitalized overnight for lightheadedness. The Cubs lead that game 10-1 in the 9th. And ESPN's Pete Thamel reports San Diego State is now expected to stay in the Mountain West.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It's the go home hour. It's the happy hour. It's the final hour of the week here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio. 92.9, 880 and 1400. Brought to you, as always, by Ingles Markets and ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And top of the third hour, we do it every day. Changes. Never know the topic, but we're going to draft something because it's a double entendre. Our favorite thing around here is to draft things, and we love to draft things with a draft. But we'll have more information on our drafts when we come back after the holiday. That's a tease. It was a confusing tease, but it was a tease. Today, Jake and I will be drafting our ultimate 4th of July block party. Now, Tank and I have done this before. We have just a couple ground rules to make this one different. The first rule, we both get fireworks.
Okay,
you cannot have
reasonable.
Look, the 4th of July is the one holiday you cannot celebrate it. You must celebrate your nation's independence by blowing up a small part of it. That's how it works. All right? That is how this holiday works. So we both have fireworks.
Okay.
Everything else is fair game. Food, accessories, anything that could happen around a 4th of July party is on the table. Jake, I had first pick yesterday, which means you have the first pick today, and I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because legally there is one thing that is quite nice to have at a holiday party that you are not allowed to purvey.
Yeah, so that means...
And I will be fair in that and take it with my first selection. That's the only fair way. I was going to take the first pick.
Well, you know what I'm going to take? I'm going to take something that we talked about the other day at stadiums. I'm talking about hot dogs.
And see, and look, I value the hot dog.
There's no way you're going to bash a hot dog.
No, I think Asheville Police Chief David Zack broke my brain with hot dogs, though. Because he had whatever that buffalo dog was, and it's ruined me for other hot dogs forever.
Buffalo's got some good food, man.
I don't know what that thing was, but my gracious, that's the best hot dog I've ever eaten in my life. This is a little aside only because you said hot dogs. How many seconds of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest will you watch?
How many seconds? Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen a second. That's the only thing. But, you know, what Joey Chestnut?
Yes.
The GOAT.
He had Kobayashi. He was the GOAT forever. And then Joey Chestnut has taken gluttony to the highest extreme.
I mean, I might tune in, but...
I absolutely refuse to watch that.
Why is that?
Because they dunk hot dogs in water. Like if you're gonna have a hot dog eating contest, you should have to eat the hot dog.
Do they not chew it?
They make it they dunk it in water and they make it gross, and I mean, I'm not trying to be the bleeding heart here, but do we really need you eating 73 hot dogs just because it's gross?
I don't like that. But I mean, come on, 4th of July, you have to have a hot dog. If you're not eating a hot dog on 4th of July, you're doing your country wrong, man.
I'm going to disagree because
what type of disagreement are we talking about?
A hot dog is a formidable purveyance.
Okay.
At a 4th of July party. I don't think it's mandatory.
Are you serious?
100%. Because there's another food stuff that to me is equally as good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it momentarily.
So what is it?
It's a cheeseburger. The burger is, there's a reason people say we're having hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah. So priority
you want
goes
them
first.
together.
You say hot dog first because it's the best.
Do you? Or do you say it first because it's the shortest? I was going to say alphabetical order, and then I realized, oh, wait, it's actually hamburger. That would alphabetically come before hot dog, as would cheeseburger, as would burger. All of it would come alphabetically before hot dog. So I'll lose that part of the argument. I ideally would like to have both. I knew I was going to get one or the other. I have to take cold domestic lights.
Okay, there you go. With something I can't pick.
You can't pick that. It's only fair I take it with one of my first two. I could wait till the end and be a jerk. I'm not gonna. Take it right now because that's obviously what you need. Whatever your flavor of that is. I mean, for me, it's a domestic light. You might be a porter guy. I don't know why. I've never understood how people, when it's 413 degrees outside, they're drinking these incredibly heavy beers. That's why I like domestic lights. I like to be outside. I'm fat. I get hot very easily, and there's going to be a few of them.
So you're going with cheeseburgers and domestic lights.
Correct.
Okay, so that leads me to...
I'm really going... It's beers on the whole, because you can't take that. So I just take the whole umbrella there.
Well, I'm glad someone took it. So we're going to go with the fourth pick here. Every memory I have of 4th of July, there's one common thing, and it is the pool. So I'm going to go with the pool at number 4.
That was on my list. The only thing is that that's a very specific kind of party. Like, you got to be at somebody's house, because I don't do public pools. Just Seacrest out. People soup is not something that appeals to me. Especially when it's hot. I'm good. Now, you got a pool at your house? I'm all the way in.
Yeah.
Me and my deflated American Gladiator self will show up, and you'll go, whoa, that guy needs to do some squats or some lat pulls or something. That dude looks like Laser. Laser stopped taking the juice.
I can't. Yeah, but no, for real. So every 4th of July, I'd go to my country club pool, which I guess you would count as a public pool, but it was great. We would play games.
No, a country club pool is,
it's still public.
It is, but you got to pay to get in there, and it's slightly different.
Well, every 4th of July from 2013 until last year, I'd go to the pool, and we would play games like watermelon and have the swim and dive contest and all that stuff. And so there's just a lot of fond memories of the pool on 4th of July, and that's what's going to lead me to my 5th pick. You got to go with the American flag.
Oh, that wasn't even on my list. That should have been a given, and... I feel as though we have taught you to be entirely too good at this game because I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Well, what is a 4th of July without the American flag? Like, are you serious?
Oh, he beat me at my own game, and I don't like this.
You know where else the American flag's going to be? Sunday in Charlotte, CONCACAF Gold Cup.
I'm really rooting for the United States to pull out that gold medallion or whatever it is that they're battling for.
But yeah, American flag, pool,
hot dogs. I didn't see that coming.
That's a starter pack right there if I've ever seen one.
Tank and I have been doing this. We've been playing this game for a year. I don't think he has hit me with one of those yet where I just went, man, I did not think of that. Nice selection there, Jake.
I appreciate it.
All right, so that means the action is to me, correct?
Yep, correct, with the 6th pick.
Okay, so I'm going to show my age with one of these. I am going speakers. Got to have some kind of music. So I'm going to put all those things together. I got to have some tunes.
Come on, I was going to take that.
Yeah, you took America. I don't think you get to complain at me for taking music.
Okay. There you go.
I have to just have red, white, and blue cups because I'm not allowed to have the flag. For me, music is incredibly important. The more portable, the better, because I'm fully planning on this party going long into the night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this may not be as big a problem for you As you get older, you get annoyed by things really easily. So I'm going the citronella candle.
Excuse me?
Bug spray.
Okay. I don't know what you said before that.
Citronella. So citronella is the actual chemical that is in bug spray.
Okay.
You can get a candle and light it, and bugs will stay away.
Okay.
Because I get absolutely, and it's more my wife than me, because she wears fragrant perfumes and things like that.
Me too.
So she gets eaten alive by bugs. Mm-hmm. And once she is upset by the bug situation, you can rest assured that I am not going to have as many domestic lights as I want. So I want her to be comfortable. That's the loving way to say that. And I want to be able to hang out as long as possible. So I need the citronella.
Music and bug spray. That's pretty solid. I like it.
Comfort.
Well, I'm up with the 8th pick. And this is something, again, huge in my childhood. I was very good at this. I actually played in a couple tournaments a couple years back. Number 8, let's go with wiffle ball.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, that was always kind of a thing.
I should probably teach you that around here, wiffle ball has a completely different connotation.
What do you mean?
Well, we've long had the torture ticket. All right, torture tickets are something we do during the football season. Tank and I will have a disagreement. We will wager on it, and we will put terms of things that we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Well, there has long been standing the wiffle ball bet, which is we get to hit the other one in the with a wiffle ball bat. Tank refuses to do this. I have given him odds that are astronomical, and he still won't take it. And so now every time I hear wiffle ball, that's all I can think of.
Well, wiffle ball was a huge part of my childhood. I would play in New Hampshire, play down here in North Carolina. Obviously, played in a couple tournaments, which was a lot of fun. I love wiffle ball, and it just feels like, just a tradition to play it on 4th of July. But you know what also seems like a tradition? The firecracker popsicle. Talking about
you're talking the rocket pop?
Yeah, the red, the white, and the blue on the popsicle.
Oh, the rocket pop is delicious. There's actually and not that you would know anything about this, in spite of the fact that Stephen Tao in the comments said, when was the last time you saw a 20-year-old that couldn't purvey? We don't endorse crimes around here, Stephen. But you're not wrong. There is actually an adult beverage that's called the Rocket Pop. And you take a melted Rocket Pop and put stuff in it, and it's awesome. Yeah, about the 4th one, you can actually taste America.
Really?
And in your head, it'll just be bald eagles screaming and mullets
Toby Keith,
flying.
Red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? You drink 4 of them, a Toby Keith concert breaks out. It's the most bizarre thing you've ever seen in your life.
God, I love my country so much.
Me too. That's why I fully plan on celebrating my nation's independence by blowing up a small part of it. All right, so does that put it back to me?
Yeah, that's to you.
All right, so now I feel like I've got all the things. Everybody's comfortable. We got a little food, but I need more food. So I'm going potato salad.
Okay, I like that.
This potato salad's phenomenal.
Yes.
It's the ultimate side.
It is.
With the burger. You can go on the burger.
And the dog.
It goes with the dog, too.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate side. It's messy. It's delicious. For some reason, it's mayonnaise-based, but it survives out in the sun, and none of us ever get sick, which is bizarre to me. And to me, something that should have come off the board much earlier, because this is about the only time of year that I will actually eat one of these, it's watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
That's the ultimate. All right, the fireworks are going off. Toby Keith's playing in the background. Your mullet's flying in the wind. Just America with a big hunk of watermelon and a domestic light in your hand.
The 4th of July is just great, isn't it?
Man, I love the USA. Let's go.
God bless America.
Patriotism at its finest.
I mean, I'm going to be really patriotic on Sunday at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. I watched the
that
U.S.
gold
flag.
necklace. I mean, you're really locked into this gold necklace, and I really hope
the USA,
you
got to pull for him, man. So that leaves me
the conch shell golden necklace. I'm really rooting for you.
There you go. So that leaves me the last pick of the draft. This could be a wild card here, but again, You can't enjoy any holiday, I think, without a nice, delicious s'more.
I considered that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like s'mores.
You don't like s'mores?
I don't like marshmallows.
What,
I don't
it's
understand
like melted, though.
Yeah, I don't understand what a marshmallow is.
You know what? Now that I think about it, what is a marshmallow?
I have no idea. I've always had a theory because there's two things that are very similar, and I don't like either one of them. Marshmallows and whipped cream.
You don't like whipped cream?
Nope.
Not even on a milkshake?
No. And you put it on my milkshake? Look, I am not sends food back guy. You put whipped cream on my milkshake? Hey, you open that window back up, all right? We discussed this. Yeah, I don't like either one, and they taste exactly the same.
I don't think so. I think marshmallows taste a lot different than whipped cream.
It's just a doughy whipped cream.
No, it's not.
It's whipped cream dough. That's exactly what it is. That's marshmallow from here on out. Whipped cream dough. Let's go.
You know what I do with my marshmallows that a lot of people make fun of me for? So you know how people roast their marshmallows? You know, they'll twist it. They'll have it over there for like 2 minutes. I don't care. I take it. I shove it in the fire. Not in the coals, obviously, but actually in the fire. It catches on fire. Blow it out. Put it on my graham cracker. Give it that smoky taste. It's good.
I don't like things that are burnt either.
Yeah, but it's different. It's a marshmallow.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it.
There's a lot of things you don't like.
I look. I have the taste buds of a 7-year-old. I don't hide that.
Yeah,
it just is what it is.
I'm your huckleberry.
Mark Bradley with our first one of those of the day. Wiffle ball over backyard football. Gross.
You know,
4th of July. I get it. It's too hot to do anything that really that's why I don't have anything that's really athletic activity. You got pool, which means you got water, which means I'm basically out.
Now football in the pool is a different story. That's fun.
Oh, no doubt.
It's great. You don't feel overworked. But if you're playing backyard football on 4th of July, it's probably 95 degrees with 75% humidity and the bugs are eating at you. Would you rather play wiffle ball where you stand around for a little bit?
It's a good point.
You know?
All right, so Jake, what does that give you in our daily draft? I know you started with hot dogs.
I got hot dogs, pool, American flag, wiffle ball, the bomb pop, firecracker popsicle, rocket pop, and s'mores.
That's not a bad haul.
I think it's a great haul.
I got beers, burgers, music, bug spray, tater salad, watermelon.
That's a good haul too.
Now, here's the thing. I feel like we hold 2 parties, and then we convene them into one, and we got ourselves a shindig.
We do.
Where
especially
we just
with fireworks,
which we both have.
Yeah,
we went and did crimes and got them from Tennessee or South Carolina, and we're just gonna have a good old time celebrating our nation's independence. Let's go. You're in the Sportsocracy, 92.9, 880, and 1400. When we come back, we will talk about the NFC West win futures for this year. Who do we like? And there's one team that is the greatest layup bet in the history of NFL futures. I'll tell you who that is right out of this break on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving time ago, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound slow between Broadway Street and 240. 26 westbound is crawling between Airport Road and I-40. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and the Smoky Park Highway. 40 westbound again slow near Newfound Road. 40 eastbound delays approaching the Smoky Park Highway, continuing to the 26-240 split near Fletcher. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
The Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event starts now with savings on select PCs powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Plus, get deals on select accessories and free shipping on everything. Save now by calling 877-ASK-DELL.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
It's the 9th Highland Night Flight, Asheville's favorite twilight race at Highland Brewing Company, Saturday night, July 22nd at 7:30. Come and run or walk this 4.5-mile race in East Asheville amidst the cheering neighbors of Beverly Hills and Gashes Creek. You'll finish in the meadow of Highland Brewing for the post-race party. All proceeds benefit the Greenway Development through Connect Buncombe. The race is capped at 500 runners and filling fast, so don't wait to register. Go to highlandbrewing.com. highlandbrewing.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Continuing our trek around the NFL, showing ways for you to make the shekels on futures, because I am Captain Futures. Men's College World Series. Your 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. Got a couple bangers if you check us out on the iHeartRadio app with our Ingles Mullet's Money Making Minute, throwing those out every week up until the start of the football season. But we wanted to go around the league and just look at where the futures are, because this is basically the market has settled. This is where it's going to be between now and the start of the season, unless something catastrophic happens at camp. I would say you probably hit the highest side. The only thing that could change is somebody gets hurt and you go down. Mm-hmm. A quarterback goes down in camp, and now you're stuck with a very bad ticket. But there is one team, and they just so happen to play in the NFC West, that I think might be the easiest layup bet I've ever seen in my life.
Seattle, 8.5.
The Seattle Seahawks. I don't understand that line in the least. And I'll go a step further. On DraftKings, you can get them at plus 185 to win win more than 10.5 games. I'd take that. I'd take that and consider it to be a cakewalk.
8.5? Are you kidding me?
8.5 is stupid. And the only thing I can figure is that people, the betting public has moved this down because they don't believe Geno Smith can do it again. That's the only thing that makes any sense.
Literally, Geno Smith is a Pro Bowler. But, Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler. Guys, look at his stats last season. What was it, 30 TDs and 11 picks?
Oh, and Geno was fantastic.
He was fantastic, completed the ball.
And guess what? He's going to be again. Because I think we figured this out. It's the scheme. It's not the quarterback.
He just got Jackson Smith and Jigba as well.
Who, if you listen to Seahawk beat writers, they're heaping praise on Jackson Smith and Jigba that is hefty. Doug Baldwin. Consistently. That's how good this kid's going to be. And look, I said when he got drafted, I think Seattle's the perfect spot for him. That defense has improved. You get the vet leadership back with Bobby Wagner. And at the end of the day, I just don't think this division's very good.
I don't either.
Seattle Seahawks are the best team in this division, fact or fiction? Most people would say San Francisco.
I would say San Fran at like 2 weeks ago, but honestly, from what I've heard from the camp and what they did in the offseason, what they did in the draft, I would say Seattle's probably the best team in the NFC West.
I tend to agree, but I think it's very close.
It is close. No, 100% it's close.
Look, I'm on record as saying Philadelphia's the best team in the NFC, Dallas second best team, Seattle and San Francisco are 3 and 4, and you can put them in whatever order you want to. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure anybody's all that close to them.
Tampa Bay?
And for me, I'm looking at San Francisco. What is their future win total?
San Francisco is actually at 10.5.
Look, that San Francisco defense is very, very good. It's very talented. It's very deep. I have 2 gigantic reservations with San Francisco, and I'm not telling you they're going to come crashing to earth. I'm not. I don't buy Brock Purdy at all. I don't. I think it's close-up magic. I think it's smoke and mirrors. And as soon as you get tape on this kid, I think this is going to come unraveling like a ball of yarn.
I think if Purdy didn't get hurt in that NFC Championship, I think it would have been the 49ers against the Chiefs. I'm not even lying. No,
I don't think San Francisco could have played with 14 players and beaten that Philadelphia team. Not with Brock Purdy. Sorry. He's a little teeny-tiny quarterback that you really feasted on bad teams. And my fear is that I think
though.
Okay.
It was prime time football.
The only other team that he beat that was even good, were the Dolphins and the Cowboys, and he had absolutely nothing to do with that, with the win over the Cowboys. Nothing. I had as much to do with that as he did.
Okay.
That was the defense keeping Dak Prescott out of the end zone.
Well, when you look at the win total, 10.5. Do you think the win total, do you feel more comfortable about it if Darnold or Purdy is at?
Darnold, not close.
Darnold, not close?
Darnold, not close. I got one guy that's a big physical specimen that's never been coached well. This is the best set of receivers he's ever had. It's probably the best offensive line he's ever been behind. And he's a 5-year starter in the NFL. This will be his 6th year starting in the NFL if he starts week 1. And I look at that, and I look at Brock Purdy and go, you're telling me this kid that everybody in the NFL bypassed. And spare me on the Tom Brady thing.
Yeah, but he also, Brock Purdy had one of the highest, what's the
Wonderlic.
Test? The other one that C.J. Stroud had.
Yeah,
whatever that test is.
I'm out of draft mode. I can't remember what it's called.
Whatever that test was, Brock Purdy scored really high on that.
Yeah, and I got that. I fully understand that. I'm not saying he's not a bright kid. I think he is a bright kid. I've seen this before where somebody comes in, they get their first crack at starting, they're lightning in a bottle, and then you get tape on them, and all of a sudden it falls apart like a deck of cards or like a house of cards. And I won't be shocked if that happens with San Francisco.
So
they also have injury issues every other year.
100%.
And at some point, losing your coordinators at this rate is going to burn you. I do not like the Steve Wilks thing. I haven't liked the Steve Wilks thing. I don't think it makes sense because it's a completely different kind of defense. Now, with all of that being said, San Francisco gets 4 layup wins because they play the Rams twice and they play the Cardinals twice. So you're almost halfway to the number just by beating 2 of the 5 worst teams in the league.
So what are we thinking? Over or under 10?
I look at the rest of that schedule and I don't see. What do we always talk about in the NFL? And this came up yesterday with, I think it was GG Gambling said this. 3 biggest things in the NFL: your coach, your quarterback, and your defense. I have no idea what your quarterback is because I don't know who it is. Frankly, it could be any of 3 guys. It wouldn't shock me. I'm not saying you have a bad coach because I think Kyle Shanahan is a very bright offensive mind. He also seems to let down every single year. And your defense is in flux because you're now on your 3rd defensive coordinator in 4 years. And this one is, look, I know in Carolina he is beloved because he came in as an interim coach and blah, 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 blah. I got a track record with Steve Wilkes that says he ain't this guy. And even with all of that, I'm still going to say over 10.5.
I think that this team can win 11 games this season.
I think they're 11-6.
Because one thing you said about...
I will say this is one future prop I'll avoid like grim death.
Yeah.
There's no way you could get me to wager this. There are too many question marks with this team.
I feel like they can split with Seattle. As you've seen in Kyle Shanahan's past time, there's no way he doesn't win against the LA Rams.
Yeah,
beats,
they're awful now.
Yeah, and they're terrible, and obviously Arizona's one of the worst teams in the league. So there you go. Right there, you already got 5 wins if they split with Seattle. Now, yes, obviously you got to play teams like the Browns, the Bengals, the Jags, the Eagles, and it scares you. But again,
it's an evil schedule.
It is evil. But come on.
It's the toughest schedule in the NFC by a mile.
Oh, yeah. But again, Kyle Shanahan, I feel like he always finds a way to win.
I want to say under here. I really do. I'm going to tell you to avoid it. But if you had to wager it, I'll take the over just because you got the talent on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFC is dreadfully awful.
So let's head over to L.A. then. We go to the Los Angeles Rams, the Super Bowl
There's
champions.
no number you can say. If you told me it's 3.5, I'll take the under.
Really?
They're awful.
They're 6.5.
Under. Aggressively. That team is awful.
They are pretty bad.
We played a game in here the other day of name this L.A. Ram defensive starter.
Ugh.
It was Aaron Donald and 11 dudes that I could convince you were my insurance agent.
Oh.
They have nothing on that defense. It's a bunch of young guys that maybe you hit on some of them.
That might be one of the worst defenses in the NFL this season.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I believe it was PFF that put out the ranking of the top 5 players on each team. And the Rams were 32 because their 5th player, obviously had Stafford, Kupp,
Aaron
Donald,
Van Jefferson?
Steve Avila was the 4th.
What?
The rookie, 2nd-round rookie, he was their 4th. And the 5th was Ernest Jones.
Oh, my God.
That's how bad this roster is.
All right.
So I will go under 6.5, and I am going aggressively under 6.5.
Real quick, you think they beat Indianapolis, correct?
No.
What?
I see all right. I'll go a step deeper here. What is the future on the Arizona Cardinals?
4.5.
That is a roster that will not have its starting quarterback for for half the year.
Yeah.
And they may just tap and go, why would we bring him back? That is actively trying to lose because they're going to have 2 picks in the top 5, no matter how rose-colored glasses you go on the Houston Texans. If I was setting the number, I would have the Cardinals and the Rams at the same spot. They would both be 5.5 for me.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, I cannot in good conscience say you should take over the 4.5. I feel like it could, but there's also the possibility they shut down Kyler Murray and he never sees the field this year. And if that's the case, that team may win 2 games.
I had him at 2-15.
And here's where I'm going to be spicy.
Okay.
If you told me a team in the NFL wound up with the number 1 pick in this draft, and it was not the Arizona Cardinals because they have their pick, they have Houston's. It's the LA Rams.
Really?
That's the worst roster I've ever seen. From 8 to 53, that is the worst roster I've ever seen. And that's what happens when you say falafel them picks for 10 years. Just the way it works. Sorry,
point.
Your roster is awful. And the fact that you added Stetson Bennett, woo, shows me that you ain't learned not nary a thing.
Okay, so let's go back a couple years. Obviously, the huge blockbuster trade from Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff and the bunch of first-round picks. Do you think the Lions won that trade?
Yes. Not close.
Even though the Rams won the Super Bowl.
got a Super Bowl. Yep, and you're going to be absolute dog water for 10 years. To me, that was just the... You know when you get a cake for your birthday?
Yeah.
And they put the candles on it, and it's got the little decorative figurines on it? Wedding cakes have this. All kinds of things have the little figurine on top. That's what that trade was. They had been brewing this for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you finally topped it off with, we're going to give up future picks, one of which wound up in the top 5 or top 6 for a quarterback that's in their early to mid-30s. You see how stupid that sounds when
Yeah, but again, would you rather sacrifice 10 years of being absolute dog water?
Oh, I've had this argument with Tank. Look, you're talking to a guy whose team hadn't made the playoffs in 13 years.
Yeah.
I'll trade anything to make the playoffs. I'll trade anything just to get in.
Yeah.
It is the most miserable existence as a fan that I have ever experienced, and I grew up pulling for the New York Knicks. I grew up pulling for the Jets, and I will say the last decade plus is the most miserable I've ever been because I walked into every single year going, we have no shot. And that's where the Rams are for years. Unless your scouting department gets exponentially better than they have been and exponentially better than they just showed themselves to be in the April draft, you're in trouble. And you ain't going to get out of it for a long time.
So you think McVay's gone after this year?
I'm shocked he didn't drop out this year.
Yeah,
I'm shocked he
too.
didn't say, I'm going to take a TV job and rehab my image because I don't know that Don Shula could win with this roster. And you're 3 years away from even being vaguely competitive. The Seahawks are younger than you. They're going to have a problem at quarterback in a couple years, but that's a couple years down the line. San Francisco is younger than you. And in terms of quality talent, I mean, you got a bunch of rookies. I don't know that any of them are good. So I just don't see the path. And then I look at the Cardinals. Oh, they're going to have two picks probably in the top three. You're going to be able to trade that for a king's ransom that probably builds this roster for the next 10 years. So futures-wise, you're the worst team in this division for a decade. Yeah, if I'm Sean McVay, I'm good. He's the same age I am. He's 36 years old. I'm good. I got a whole nother second act. I brought you a Super Bowl. You're welcome. And now I've got to go wash my hair.
He does have some good hair. Now,
one division left, the NFC East, and this might be the spiciest of all. When we come back from the break, we'll give you the most important message of the day and talk about the NFC East. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio, Asheville 92.9, 880 and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More thunderstorms possible into early July coming in from the north, riding around the top side of that big heat high that we've been talking about. We're going to feel some 90s in the forecast for the weekend. 65 degrees our low tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Widely scattered storms possible Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming in from the north. Some could have gusty downpours, cloudy around lightning. High temps near 90, lows near 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street, Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and I-40. 26 eastbound, slow between I-40 and the French Broad River. 26 eastbound, again slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound, crawling between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound, slow between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. 40 westbound near Newfound Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Inca Village, Sardis Road from Sandhill Road to Bavard Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway southbound near Laney Drive, an incident causing delays. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop the final days of July 4th savings now at Lowe's. Freshen up your home with buy one, get one, 50% off on select interior and exterior paints and exterior stains. Lowe's knows July 4th savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/5. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Every day you breathe in thousands of tiny little germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Doug, a verified Navage user who writes, I had difficulty for years breathing through my nose. After using Navage, my whole breathing has changed. My sinuses don't hurt, and no more stuffy nose. It's an amazing product. Unquote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
You might not know this, but the Ingalls Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things. Really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
It's time for the most important message of the day. Don't do crimes!
Let's head down to Orlando, Florida. Gosh, I feel like every single story I have is from Florida.
Well, I mean, they made a Netflix show called Florida Man that I'm pretty sure is about crimes. So, I mean, it's a stereotype that, well, the maths.
Well, let's talk about crimes. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has charged a minor with animal cruelty after seeing the worst kind of clout-chasing video circulating on social media right now. So, the video recorded last Thursday in the Plant City Hardee's parking lot shows a group of teens handling a little tiny baby alligator, roughly. So, they used the gator's teeth to puncture a can of Arizona Twisted Tea and then shotgun the alcoholic beverage with the young reptile still clamped on that aluminum can.
What? Wait, I chose a really poor time to stop paying attention. They used an alligator as a knife to shotgun a beer?
Twisted Tea.
I don't love that it's a Twisted Tea. Never understood that.
Thoughts?
I mean, I don't think you're going to like it. First of all, you're tougher than I am. When you look at an alligator and go, hey, let's use him as a can opener.
Well, baby alligator, too.
Yeah, and they're meaner than sin.
Feisty.
I mean, you shouldn't do that. I get it. I get why people
have respect for this guy?
Depends on what you mean by respect. Do I think you're an idiot? Yeah, I do.
100%.
Do I think you deserve to get arrested for crimes? Yes, I do.
100%.
Do I also think in a fight that you're going to be a problem? Yeah, probably. Because you looked at an alligator and went, can opener. Let's go.
I can't believe it. But this is coming from the FWC. The lack of respect and responsibility showed towards the animal was disappointing to see. And this serves as a strong reminder of the consequences of such behavior. It's got to stop. And also, something funny, the website I got this from, the Orlando Weekly, this isn't the first time they've written about this. So this is a trend going on.
Yeah, don't use alligators as bottle openers.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, keys.
There you go.
I actually used to have a thing on my keys that I could use for this exact... Oh, probably didn't make me sound good. My story comes from Granby, Colorado. Homeowner discovered that there had been a break-in sometime between 9 p.m. Tuesday, 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Nothing, just looked like things were disheveled. Maybe like somebody was looking for something.
Okay.
Homeowner cleans things up, gets the house back in order. Next night, same thing happens again. So you've had an intruder that has come in 2 days in a row, but not really stolen anything. Make that make sense.
It's got to be like an animal of some sort, correct?
It is an animal. It's a black bear.
Ooh.
Yeah, apparently the bear figured out how to turn a doorknob.
What?
The door was not locked, but it was closed. The homeowner Rachel, or excuse me, not the homeowner, the spokesperson for the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, Rachel Gonzalez, said no one was injured and the damage was relatively minimal, but that the bear came in and basically threw a really good party, to quote Miss Gonzalez. That is possibly one of the most terrifying things I've ever heard, because that's always been a problem for bears, is turning knobs. They just don't know how to, they can't physically do that. This is on camera, and they see that the door is closed. The bear actually opened it. And so, you know what that tells me?
What does it tell you?
The bears are evolving. Bears are evolving.
They are.
They're bigger than us.
Yes.
They're meaner than us.
Yep.
And now they have the use of opposable thumbs.
Oh, gosh, that's spooky. It
We're
really
in
is.
trouble.
I mean, last year at UNC Asheville, staying in the dorms, we would have the police come by almost every single week because there's just black bears just chilling right outside our dorms. So now maybe they can open up the door to go inside.
It's not a good thing.
That is not good.
It's not a good thing. It's actually the only advantage we had over the bears. And intelligence for some people, not all. As one of our loyal listeners says in his YouTube screen name, common sense ain't so common.
It's not.
We got one division left in our NFL futures. It's the NFC East. We'll talk about it after this quick commercial break, and then it'll be time to wrap it up for the week ahead of the 4th of July. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Radio, 92.9, 880, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and I-40. 26 on the eastbound side, delays between I-40 and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound, slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound again, slow between the 26-240 split and Georges Branch Road. 40 westbound near Newfound Road, heavy delays. An accident reported on the Smoky Park Highway southbound near Laney Drive in Mills River. An accident Boylston Highway northbound at Haywood Road. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Bavard Road northbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Bavard Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. And right now, save 50% off any order during our July 4th sale. Blindster.com.
If you're suffering and there's a safe, natural, easy-to-use solution to help make you feel better, wouldn't you at least want to try it? That's why millions of people use Navage Nasal Care to help relieve their symptoms of sinus congestion, allergies, snoring, and other nasal-related problems. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Candace, a verified Navage user who writes, "This is the greatest invention ever made. I truly can't believe the difference and the relief it has made in my sinus problems. Thank you." Unquote. Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
One division in the NFL left to talk about, the NFC East. You rest pretty assured? Yeah, I'm probably going to be over on the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys.
Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys right here. Honestly, I feel like this is a little low. 9.5.
That's about right.
Really?
It's about right because there are some worries. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very overweight on this because I think Dallas is 11-6 bare minimum.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very high on Dallas. I've said it numerous times.
What if Dak gets hurt, though?
That's one fear. You have a quarterback that's been hurt in the past. Another fear is that Mike McCarthy is, we'll say he's a question mark. I could argue he's the least talented Super Bowl winning coach in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And so I understand why it's down. Plus, how many times do you go Charlie Brown and let Lucy pull the football up from underneath you? How many times have we believed in the Dallas Cowboys and things have gone awry? I also feel like that's just an absolute sucker's bet. You go through the schedule. If they so much as split the division, so you go, let's say they go 3-3 in the division, which I think is low.
Yeah.
As I would say, they get one from Philadelphia. They take both from at least one of the other teams, and it might be both of them. I mean, am I insane to say that?
No, you're not insane at all. I have them going 4-2 in the division.
All right, so they go 4-2 in the division. You still got games with the Cardinals, the Patriots, the Rams, the Panthers. That's really the only layups. The schedule's not pretty.
It's not.
But I feel like you'd get to 8 and 9 standing on your head.
Let's say that they lose the games they're supposed to. So what would you say? They would lose against the 49ers or the Eagles twice.
I would say you definitively lose to the Eagles once. Going down the schedule at the 49ers, at the Chargers.
They play Seattle. They play Buffalo.
In Dallas, in Buffalo, in Miami. Those are the 5 that I feel like you're almost invariably going to lose.
And there you go. What does that leave? 12-5.
It's 12-5 and gives you 2. You could drop 2 toss-up games or 2 that you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
And you're still on the right side of this.
So over?
I'll go over on Dallas, yes.
I like it. So let's go to New York. How about them Giants? And it's going to be, I thought it was 8.5. It's actually 7.5 now.
And I'm not sure that 7.5 is not too high.
Really?
I don't know who they're supposed to beat. And their schedule is Gnarls Barkley.
It's pretty tough.
Well, you play all 4 teams in the NFC or in the AFC East. Mm-hmm. I think they're all 4 better than you.
Okay.
It's close with New England. And look, I love Brian Daboll. He took a team that it was not playoff good last year to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now the question is, has the league figured you out? Daniel Jones, is there going to be a regression now that he got paid? There's a lot of questions with this team. And look, if there's any team that I'm super wrong on, because I'm just very sour on this roster. I like some of the things you're doing. I just think you're a year away.
I do too.
You're undervaluing how important it is to have somebody that can win. Because I'm looking at the receiving corps going, who's supposed to win? All right, Darren Waller? I mean, I get very talented when he's on the field.
Yeah.
Problem he's not on the field a lot.
Not a lot. You got Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton and who else is going to wow you on that?
The New York Giants receiver corps is my dating record before I met my wife. It's a slew of 4s. I mean, that's just what it is. So I'm not huge on the Giants. It's not a high number. I feel like Vegas is telling you that there's a regression coming. There are 2 playoff teams every single year that bounce out of the playoffs, and I won't be shocked if it's Minnesota and Giants.
7.5 over, under?
I'll go under. If they beat it, it's all on Brian Daboll. And he may be the third best coach in the NFL because that schedule is awful.
Philly, they are sitting at 11.5 right now. Over?
Yeah.
I respect the call.
Look, there's just no team in the NFC that I feel like can. I feel like Philadelphia has to a point beat themselves to lose to any team in the NFC. Now you catch the AFC, and yeah, you got to play the AFC East. Right? Worst case scenario, you split them.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to get to 6 losses for Philadelphia.
I mean, again, they're pretty much the Georgia Bulldogs of the NFL. They got how many Bulldogs on their roster?
An insanely high amount, which is really annoying.
1/4 of their roster is made out of Georgia Bulldogs. I like what they did this offseason. Obviously, Shane Steichen is with the Indianapolis Colts, but Nick Sirianni, he's been the guy.
That's the only fear I have with Philadelphia. Losing both coordinators. I'm never a fan of that, especially when I don't really buy your coach.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that roster is not so good that Rich Kotite couldn't get 11 wins out of them.
And again, A.J. Brown's back, Devontae Smith's back. They do have Olamide Zaccheaus at the 3 right now.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if they have Jake Wilson at the 3. That's fine.
Hey, he's a good wide receiver right there. Don't talk about Jake Wilson like that. I could play for the Patriots. They always take those
intern Jake.
Those random white wide receivers.
At the intern Jake.
But yeah, we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I have them going 13-4 this year, so I'm gonna take the over.
One team left in this division, the Washington Commanders.
6.5.
This is probably one of my favorite over bets. I think this team is so much better than other people do. If the defense is even a shred of what we thought it would be, this is a layup. Because I think Sam Howell is going to end up being the best quarterback out of his draft class. Said it then, I'll say it now. I'm heavier on Washington than I am any team in the NFC, not named Seattle, in terms of beating their projection. That'll put a bow on this week. Jake, you've done a great job.
Appreciate it.
Everybody give it up for the intern Jake, filling in for Tank. He will be back on Wednesday. I will not. My wife's birthday is on Tuesday, so happy birthday to my lovely wife, HWA, and happy birthday to America. Everybody out there, go celebrate your nation's independence by blowing up a small part of it, and we'll see you next week right back here on ESPN Radio in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More thunderstorms possible into early July coming in from the north, riding around the top side of that big heat high that we've been talking about. We're going to feel some 90s in the forecast for the weekend. 65 degrees our low tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Widely scattered storms possible Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming in from the north. Some could have gusty downpours, cloudy around lightning. High temps near 90, lows near 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and the French Broad River. 26 westbound, then stop and go between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound, slowing between Bavard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound, stop and go between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound again, stop and go between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. 40 westbound near Newfound Road, delays. On the Smoky Park Highway southbound at Laney Drive, an accident. Lanes are closed, heavy delays. Mills River area, Bolston Highway at Presbyterian Church Road, an accident has this roadway closed. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Bavard Road northbound, stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.